ancient civilizations. And yet, this same pictogram was discovered in every one of them.
They want us to come and find them.
Please tell me you can read that.
Prometheus, are you seeing this?
Whatever that probe is picking up, it's reading life form.
Oh, the head. They're changing.
Changing into what?
What is that?
That is a ship.
We were so wrong. Take us home!
Big things have small beginnings.
Oh, hello, people. Well, we're back for another MMM. This time to talk about a movie that I think pretty much everyone hates in this panel. I don't know about everyone, but at least I do. But yeah, since Alien Romulus is coming out, we decided to do an Alien movie. We didn't do Aliens, the sequel. We're saving that for another time because we wanted to take a deep dive into the wonderful, glorious piece of shit that is Prometheus. So we decided let's dive into that one. But yeah, we have some good guests back to talk about this wonderful crap movie. And how's everybody doing tonight, by the way?
I'm feeling anti-Prometheus.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with this movie.
I'm not here to be friends. I'm here to make money.
Yeah. You're a mercenary? No, you like rocks. I'm a rock guy. Oh, cool. Yeah.
I like rocks.
I like rocks.
Even though I get lost with the map.
Yeah, I mapped the place, but I don't know where.
I don't know. I just can't seem to find that exit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I'm a geologist, not a cartographer.
I'm a geologist. Yeah. We don't know how to read maps. We get lost and nobody gives a shit. Hey, we can get into all this when we watch the movie or talk about the movie. But yes, thank you everyone out there for dropping by. Yeah, this is our first fully monetized MMM show.
Oh my god!
Yes, thank you all to all you beautiful supporters of the
Nothing
channel.
major going on whatsoever to compete with either.
Never right now. No. Fucking Elon Musk. Thanks, Elon. I completely forgot about that whole thing. But whatever, we'll still have fun talking about this bullshit movie. We'll try to make it as quick as painless as possible. We have a few panelists. Price of Reason is back on the show. How are you, sir?
I'm good, and I'm happy to finally be back.
Good. We're always happy to have you back. Unfortunately for a shit movie, but we'll make the best out of it.
You know what? Sometimes a movie that isn't good, there's a lot to talk about. If it's good, everybody's just like, wow, that was good. And the people are like, yes, it was.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So, yes.
Train's over. Post that in the shorts.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about this movie, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
there's a lot to break down. Mr. Goodwin, I'm so sorry that I had to do this to you, but thank you for coming on. And I got the hate messages from you all afternoon. So
yes. Well,
yes.
I mean, I've been like actively avoiding watching it the whole time. It's just, repelling. My wife would be like, shouldn't you watch it? Not now, not right now. No, I can't do that now. I gotta mentally prepare myself. And then I saw it. Damn you.
Vex, I know that I was telling everybody behind the scenes that me, you, and Gord watched this within an hour of each other over the weekend, and a lot of positive messages going back and forth in the chat for a while. It was very fun, uplifting. Nobody was angry.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out that I love this movie. I am a staunch defender of Prometheus, so I'm going to be coming out that angle tonight.
Good luck.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's why we love you.
This
Vex.
was this was the first movie that made me realize critics fucking suck because they rated this movie high, and B, I think this was the last movie I watched in full with my mother, because after we watched this together, I don't think I've watched a movie with her since.
Yeah, it damages relationships.
She's not ill or anything, right?
Sorry?
Right? She's still in good health, right?
You know what was weird?
You have
That I actually saw this movie years ago, and now prior to this, I had to rewatch it. And it's really rare that I can't remember what happens in a movie. I remembered a few general plot points, but it's almost as though I just deleted it from my memory.
Oh, you lucky
if that makes any
bastard.
sense.
Yeah, I had the.
It makes
I mean,
tons of sense.
the problem is I was conflating it with Alien Covenant because they're both so terrible, and you can't like separate the. Okay, was that in this or I don't know? There was just they were both so stupid. Which one? And then sitting and watching this. Oh my gosh, it woke up all those neurons that I really wished I had deleted.
Well, people
I
deal
think
with
Michael
PTSD in different ways.
Sorry?
Yep.
You go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think Michael Fassbender is in both of those, and that's why it confused me.
Yeah.
He's playing an equally similar douche in both of them, douchey robot thingy.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
guess.
it's just a terrible movie. Yeah, it's just bad. It's just a bad movie. There's really nothing redeeming except like the production. Even there's some moments where you notice that it's pretty, there's a lot of problems. So we could dive into that. Obviously, being this being a prequel technically to Alien is so fucking disappointing. I don't know. A lot of people think this is Ridley Scott's biggest failure as a movie because of the implications that it had. Like part of the franchise, what franchise it was part of. I don't know about that. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's a massive letdown, no doubt. It is a huge.
I think it was the clear signal to me that Ridley had lost whatever he had. That he looked at this and went, yeah, this is good, and that again, especially given like the history of the Alien franchise, where it had been seriously despoiled by a lot of sequels that were crap, and he's like, no, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna fix it, I'm gonna make a prequel. Okay, and then you start to see it, and you're like, oh no, and then by the end, you just hate him.
Yeah, it's funny. If you had asked me a week ago if this was his worst movie, I would have said no way. And granted, I kind of knew, this isn't very good. Even though the first time I watched this, I thought, that was okay. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I wasn't like trying to analyze it or anything. I don't know. This might be the movie that's taken the largest dip for me from first viewing to now. Because if like when I first watched it, I was like, it was cool. I was like, like a 6 out of 10 type movie. I am so much further down now, and I was like, gosh, this might be his worst movie. It's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
I think
there is so much wrong with this movie.
Isn't the sequel to this one worse than this one somehow?
Yes,
it might be, but I've only seen that once. So
I've only seen this once, and then now this is my second time.
I've seen this 4 times now.
Yeah, a better case can be made for Prometheus, to be honestly, but Covenant, there's gay robot sex, there's
nice,
there's people blowing up containers in small spaces. Like it just there's a bunch of couples in space. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Well, is there any robot sex?
You know what? That's a great question. Oh, and there's also robot grape as well. Attempted grape and possible actual grape.
Is this why you wanted to do this movie for your birthday stream?
Listen, I'm just saying, if they made sex androids and they looked like Michael Fassbender in this movie, I'd easy sign up for me, okay? Easy sign up. Don't lie, okay? You all want to get into those wires, okay?
So has this made Legend move up on your list on Ridley Scott movies?
Actually, yes, this legend is like
There we go. That's all I needed, baby.
That's all we needed. Oh
All
my
I needed.
god. All right, I guess we could start
But
scrubbing.
don't you dare disparage Legend. I will kick
Yeah.
you right in the jimmy.
Oh,
You
God.
should have been on the stream.
Exactly.
He was, wasn't he?
I was.
He
She
was.
wasn't.
Oh, she.
No, I
she
was here.
ditched.
I was here.
She was sleeping during the whole
Yeah.
stream.
Sleeping.
And then we
Yeah.
woke her up for trivia. So
Mhm.
that's what happened. All right. Prometheus. So we get the as Gord would say, this is where we get the beginning, where this is Earth, if I'm not mistaken.
This is
and
Earth?
the engineers
Is
are
it-
here with their Asian rice bowls. And then they're going to basically create life on this planet, which I guess in the deleted scene, which we watch this, they actually have a whole group of these people there to like
spread all over the planet or something.
yeah, to kind of
Well, it's like a ritual, and they
Ritual, right.
Yeah, it's a ritual, and they're like honoring this particular individual that's making this
Mhm.
sacrifice to create life or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm sorry they didn't keep that scene in there. Actually, I've never seen it, and it actually would explain a bit more about what it is this weird thing is.
Actually, isn't that? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's on the DVD. But I mean, it's not like here's a big ritual. There's some people, and then he goes and does his thing. There's no like in depth. There may be an added scene where there was initial context.
right.
Any kind of context would have been nice, I
was
suppose.
better
No,
than
no, I
this.
can tell you it does not help. No, there's this.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's just more of them are there.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
More than
there's
that's
like-
really all
Just
it is.
Alright.
multiplied the dumbness.
Yeah, he gets the goo. There's the magic stuff. That
Yeah,
creates
I
life.
like. Yeah, I told y'all yesterday. I was like, I do like the fact that these things carry around a thermos of primordial soup. That's pretty cool. That's the standard ultra white person
Yeah, there you
creative
go.
move
Well,
there.
they're basically carrying around planet killers
Yeah. Yep.
in a
Well,
teacup.
Well, this
Well, this is a
the
planet
point was
maker.
that- yeah, this is a planet maker. This is how mankind is made.
Right, but it's also a planet killer because again they find out that when you release it around life, it will do its own thing.
I think that's like a separate type. I think
It
these
is,
like
yeah.
they don't do a good job of explaining it, but I think the implication is that they probably have similar effects, but this was intended to create one type of life, and they've got others to create other types of life. But
Yeah.
In their
Yeah.
image.
they do a horrible job explaining it.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Well,
Really
it's
bad.
just on top of that, it's just as soon as this guy fucking, disintegrates from the crack that he's been given, right? You see the DNA come together and it starts going
Yep.
through like mitosis and shit.
right.
And then it cuts
rips
to-
apart and then recombines in the water.
Right,
Well,
which,
one of the-
which first of all doesn't make any sense because that
No.
takes place in multi-celled organisms, and this
Well,
is just
also
happening
the
from
cellular division
friends
and
and
replication doesn't make sense because they're not actually breaking outside of the cell wall.
yeah.
they just
So
thought it would
there's
look cool.
Yeah,
a lot wrong with just the intro, but yeah, it's not explained very well because then we cut immediately to them in the caves after the long intro.
Oh, and then there's some. Oh, I have words.
Yeah,
for
so
for
the
case.
implication is that this is how mankind was created.
Right.
with
That's
this-
that's the draw
Yeah.
that they're getting
At
right.
one point, the script was to basically make the character into Jesus, and they veered heavily, away from that. But I'm just saying that there's that's their
Yeah, there's
undertow.
still like remnants of it,
right.
and there's very much a religious tone to this. Which
Oh
is,
God, yeah.
it's
They're
people
really
that don't
terrible.
understand religion. I think religious people, but okay.
Damon Lindelof is one of the two screenwriters
Yes,
for this
he
movie.
is.
We were talking
And
about
it
that.
shows.
And yeah, I mean, nothing good has ever come out of Damon Lindelof. So the second he's one of the writers, there's a problem.
Yeah,
He's never Lindelon. Let's just put that.
no, it's all off. Yeah,
To be, and you
that's
know
the
what's
greatest
even
horror
wilder?
of this movie.
This script took him 8 months to write.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Well,
I'm
but
serious.
note the co-writer he has. The co-writer is the one that wrote Dune and Dune 2.
Wow.
Which is still better than this.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I mean, who
How do you go from that to that?
was he like, no, I'm actually trying to improve on what Lindelof did, or did he like write it and then Lindelof went, I'm going to wipe my butt with this script and
That's
here you
exactly
go.
what he did. Yeah, he just wiped his butt with it.
Anything
Exactly,
bad, I
Bruce.
somehow always suspect Lindelof. I'm sorry. Like the other guy is hit or miss, but Lindelof, that automatically is a red flag.
What was the Vex? You were saying how they say like these things are from 35,000 years ago, but it doesn't make any sense. Like the years,
Yeah,
and the
so
math don't match.
the movie starts in 2091, right? But by the time that this was being filmed in 2010, we'd already discovered that like mankind was making shit like this way before 35,000 years ago, like pushing 100,000 years. And on top of that, okay, listen, this is why you shouldn't have women as scientists. First of all, this bitch goes into a cave. She starts crying and she's like, "Oh my god, they're telling us to come after them." It's like only a woman would go into a cave and presume that
it's all about
people,
her. They're talking
right.
to her. They want to see me.
Exactly. When it's been proven for many centuries now that ancient peoples actually used the planets and the stars as maps to guide them.
But and the idea that this is a map or even an invitation for humans to come there is utterly ludicrous by the time you get to the end of the movie. It's like that wouldn't make a lick of sense.
Well,
yeah, I mean, you assume that these people are like, okay, you see this? Don't go here. These motherfuckers crazy. If you go
it's a warning, if nothing else.
Yeah,
from
but the other thing is
that.
Yeah, the retardation is that 35,000 years ago, constellations look different. And we just have these dots in a 2-dimensional drawing that are not accurate to scale or anything, but somehow only these really. Is that right? Okay.
Well, so the other thing that we learned too, a little farther in the movie, but this is a good because it's showing the distance from Earth here. The ancient peoples wouldn't have really known that was anything. Like, 'cause it was in a different, it was in a different galaxy, had a whole different sun. So the presumption was, oh, they came there to give them this message. But then we also learned that they wanted to wipe us out by the end of the film. So either these creators are retarded or, hear me out, okay? This is the grand, and I think Gord was onto this as well. They put mankind on Earth and they saw that we evolved black people because all of the people got these messages, okay? They're all from predominantly white ancient cultures, okay? So they saw that black people evolved and they were just like, okay, we got it. It's not in our image anymore because they're white as snow.
What did I say? Well, how long would it take to get demonetized on our first stream?
Are
we getting there?
Everyone's on X right now. It's fine.
Yeah, nobody noticed.
Listen, but look,
I think there's a better explanation.
Never
for all
watch
of
this movie, Nadia. Just listen.
Yeah, there's a presumption of gender that's mistaken. The engineers are actually women. They first they were like, no, come visit us. Oh, I hate you. I'm gonna destroy you. No, come visit me again. They can't make up their mind. It's constantly switching around. Who's gonna deal with this?
Here's the thing. I actually don't.
Everything's fine.
Going to Nadia's question, I don't know. Watching the movie with us doing commentary while the movie's just quiet,
that's even better.
Might be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because trust me, the dialogue is not something you want to hear.
No.
Well, the screen before it shows you how far it is away from Earth. So you have, like a circumference of how far it could be, and it says destination undisclosed. Like, we're the fucking audience, like.
Yeah, you can let us in on it. You can come on.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they don't know.
Well, Nadia, we're aware that Donald Trump is on Twitter right now, but we scheduled this before they scheduled their show. So, haha.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, you've got a plan.
If Trump wanted our 12 viewers, he should have asked.
He should have planned ahead.
Bastard. I know. Timing is everything.
Scheduler, not the best scheduler.
No. Very
we
rude.
are MMM. We're conservative. We're farmers, and we're voting for Kamala Harris.
Come on.
We got more
also,
people
we
watching.
like Prometheus.
Yeah, we're stupid.
Prometheus fans would probably vote for Kamala.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god. Here we go. Here's where we get Michael Fassbender's robot. There you go. I forgot his name already in the movie.
David.
Sorry, David. Yeah. So he's
trust me, it's like one of the two names I remember.
He could go in.
Discount Homelander.
Yeah.
He does kind of have a Homelander vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can read he can get into their head and read their dreams, which is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, how does that
So-
work?
Yeah.
Listen, and this is one of the things that will come into play later. So they have the technology to watch people's dreams, but they can't rewind some fucking IRL footage to figure out where two of the missing people are.
Yeah, the radio call that they should have had recorded, and well, but again, this is what 30 years before the Nostromo lands on LE 426, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so why does this have all of this tech and nobody else in the universe has it? Because even with aliens, 50 some years later, they're having to just depose people in a boardroom and not. So why don't you just lay down while I put on my magic goggles and see what actually happened in your memory?
And who the heck dreams like this? Where are like the circus goats and the conga line? That's a real dream.
They're in
It's
the
just a
grass. They're in the
memory.
grass behind.
Yeah, this
it.
is just a
This
memory.
is just David
Real-
bought those
Memory.
at the memory store from.
Yeah. Well, could you just stand here for a minute? I need to see your childhood.
And they go through the whole thing about like why her mom died, right? So they're talking about where they go, and it gets into this kind of religious thing a little bit. And the dad's like, "Oh, they have different
Real
names."
quick, just to answer Nadia's question.
Oh, yes, Nadia.
Nadia, so this is a prequel to Alien. So this Prometheus takes place before this. Then Covenant is a sequel to Prometheus. Then it goes Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, if you want to go in that order.
And Romulus
And
between
then-
Alien and Aliens.
And then
Yeah,
there's
Romulus.
Resurrection.
Yeah. And then Resurrection, I think, takes place. I think that's the last one.
Yeah, and then
Alien
there's
takes place
Alien
before this.
versus Predator.
Yeah, which is way before all of them. That's the
Yeah.
first one, technically.
Right,
I
They got
got
this technology, but they cannot, like Vex was saying earlier in chat, they can't deep scan a planet to make sure they ain't going to get face fucked.
No,
My
you're
favorite
thinking,
is they're going to use a spectrograph to figure out something's hollow.
By the
Yeah.
way, they could have included the same scene with a girl and her father, and they just would have had it as a dream or maybe like a flashback, and maybe David walks by her cryogenically frozen thingy, and he just looks at it, and she's sort of dreaming. Do you get what I'm saying? It didn't have to be that he reads her mind. It could have just been
yeah, like a
something
flashback,
that's
right?
yeah, like a flashback within her
Because
mind.
what medical benefit does that have? Like, if somebody's having a bad dream, does the robot wake him up like, oh, you were having a bad dream?
No, well, so there's a reason for the tech.
Okay.
It's a bad reason, but it's there. And also there's a reason, again, badly, because the script is shit. For why he needs to not just be walking by while she's having the dream. He actually needs to know the information.
Mm-hmm.
Because he says a line that demonstrates that he knows about her history, even though she hasn't told people.
Which is
least,
also why he tries to have sex with her in the sequel.
Yeah.
As one does. Oh, your father died of Ebola? Want to get it on, baby? Let's go.
You wanna do stuff.
Is
Oh,
she in
God.
the sequel? I thought that she's.
Yeah.
She's
She's
dead,
dead
but it's
in it,
heavily implied that David tried to have relations with her because one of the big plot premises of Covenant is that he's basically grown a soul by then because he's killed a whole nation of people and shit like that.
Oh,
Is that how she died? Robot sex? I haven't seen part to it.
We don't know.
No,
It's never,
he kills her basically, and whether it's a mercy kill or a malicious kill,
intentional. Yeah, we don't know.
it's probably malicious, but who knows what's going on in that brain.
But you don't see her in the sequel, do you?
You just see
I
her
think
body.
you see her.
I think you see her body.
Yeah, and it's like really messed up and operated on.
This is my favorite part where he's watching Lawrence of Arabia. Obviously, loves Peter O'Toole, and he's dyeing his hair.
Yes,
The best part of Prometheus is a clip from a good movie.
An actual great movie. But like, why are we doing?
So, like,
Go ahead,
this opens up, a whole lot of questions because the androids in the other Alien films, I don't recall them doing this. But first of all, David 8 as a synthetic, he grows hair, which is weird, doesn't make sense. The hair that he grows is not the same color as the rest of his hair, so he has to dye it. And on top of that, he has to eat.
Yeah, he's eating and drinking constantly.
Yeah, I don't
too.
I don't understand this because they try to explain it away later. Like, oh, why are you putting on a spacesuit when you're an android? It's like, oh, because I look like I'll fit in. But it's just like, okay, you're doing all of this shit though while everyone is asleep. So what fitting in are you really doing? I'm just
Well,
the
I think
choices.
well,
are
so
weird.
there's the to give it a charitable, and even though it doesn't deserve it in any way, the argument would be that he's learning about humans and trying to, that behaving like human thing is what he's learning on this.
Where
trip.
is the food going then, Goodwin?
Right on out the other end.
Well, here's the thing. Also, in Alien, if I'm not mistaken, they intentionally made sure that Ash didn't eat, but it was done suddenly. It was hidden, but from view, kind of, it was hidden in plain sight, I guess, as a way of, if you go back and watch, you're like, oh, he doesn't eat like everybody else does because he's an android. Okay, so it's like, well, why didn't they just keep that way here?
Why does the hair grow though? Why does the hair
That's
grow?
an even bigger question.
Because it's stupid. Because Damon Lindelof wrote this hunk of shit.
People.
Yeah, you people.
Well, they even have the deleted scene where he's crying while watching Lawrence of Arabia, and they took it out. And I'm like, why even?
Why is he crying then?
Why
What
is he
producing
crying?
those tears?
Yeah, what
Does
is
he cry
happening?
milk?
No, it's
Oh,
actually
that's a good
real
question.
tears. No, it was real tears.
Oh.
It was real tears.
That's
So,
disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other argument you can make is that Wayland created David, and again, he says like the closest thing he can have to his son. So maybe they went over the top in the construction of him to make him as
There's
as possible.
there's one other explanation that maybe earlier models of androids or whatever they tried to make them more human, and they were attempting to have them be able to have these features, and later these features were removed because they weren't practical.
I mean,
I will say this: if there were a scene of David like blubbering all of this like white like tear and snot while watching like The Notebook or something, I would bump this up a point. That would be kind of great,
right? Not Lawrence. Yeah.
Actually, you need to have a scene with him jerking off if he really wants to be a real human.
Actually, I think we have a clip like that, don't we?
And
Well,
then
it's
there would
coming
be a
up
lot
here.
of white fluids, I think.
Yeah.
We do have. Well, so this is where Charlize, whatever.
Charlize. Retarded? What the fuck?
Wait, do you have to ask
Whatever,
that question?
Commodus.
Do you really?
Charles
I
Theron.
know my brain is not working today. I can't spell biological. I'm fucking not tagging our cat. I've lost my mind today.
Look, prolonged exposure to Prometheus does
Call
cause
me
these kinds
Gorge.
of problems. Yeah.
We do have
Call
a
me
clip here.
Gorge.
Yeah, Gorge. Yeah, I'm losing. We do have a clip for this part here when she wakes up.
How long?
16 inches fully erect. Varies when it's relaxed.
Let's get
Where would you
to it.
like me over here?
Let's
Where would you like me over here?
I'd like you to remove your pants first.
Certainly.
Make it quick.
It's the wires. It's the wires.
What is going on with that playback?
Dude.
Yeah, why is that echoing
It
like
doesn't do
hell?
it on Sassy's.
That was a
know.
trip.
It only does it on cannolis.
Are you double clicking it, old man?
No, is somebody okay? Is anybody else besides me actually logged into my StreamYard?
No.
I'm not.
No.
So then it's me. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It wasn't doing it last week when we played clips, but it's doing it now again. I don't know. What do you want from me?
I don't know. I'm disappointed because that was a really funny blooper and the echo ruined it.
I was about to say, can you just stream it? But
I mean, to be
I
fair,
don't know.
Prometheus is a disappointment. Why shouldn't the clips
Yeah.
be the same?
Yeah, why should the stream just be a disappointment? Something with StreamYard. I don't know why it does that. Whatever, we'll just blame
Damon Lindelof actually over
Yeah,
StreamYard.
yeah.
So.
So she wakes up and then like asks how the crew's doing, and then she's like, "All right, just wake everybody the fuck up now." It's
Well,
time to
here's
wake
what's funny is like she asks like, "How are the crew?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Are they dead or something?" And he's like, "No, ma'am." He's like, "Well, wake them up." And she's like, "Wait, what? You were expecting some of them to? Why are you angry that they're not dead?"
There's
Such
a reason.
weird line.
It's a weird line.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that I think it's supposed to be. They're trying to convey that she's like, ruthlessly efficient and bitchy and all this stuff. But the fact is, yes, she hopes all of these motherfuckers are dead so we can turn around and go back home because I don't want to be here in the first place. This is dumb.
Yep.
And I'm with her. I support this decision.
You know, not to share trivia in advance, but I thought it was interesting that basically this wasn't supposed to be the original role she wanted to play in this movie. She was supposed to be the main woman, and then she had to do Mad Max Fury Road or something, but that got delayed. So then they still put her in this movie, but they gave her this other role. And I kind of wish I would have seen her in the other role. Like I don't know how much I liked her in this role, actually.
Oh, she was terrible.
Can I be honest? Charlize Theron was good with like the more innocent roles when she was younger, but post 2007, now that she's gotten older, it doesn't work the same way for her.
Yeah,
I think so.
So I don't think she would have been able to pull off the naivety of Elizabeth Shaw's character as well as she does Meredith Vickers.
Maybe, but at the same time, I don't love. Like, I actually like this actress in the Swedish version of the girl with the dragon tattoo, Noomi Rapace or whatever her name is. I just didn't love her here. She was all right, but I didn't love her.
I think it's hard to figure it out because the script and the character is written so poorly.
True.
There you go.
And then you know to try and judge the acting, it was like there is nobody who.
But yeah, because there's some
legitimately
good actors in this movie, and almost
really good
none
cast.
of them do. Yeah, there's almost none of them are able to pull off a good performance.
Yeah,
because
they are all
the script
crushed
is so
under the
bad.
weight of the script. Yeah.
This is such a waste of a cast.
Yeah, the only one that actually does carry through with his role is Michael Fassbender, and even in the second one, it's like he's really the saving grace for both films.
Yeah, but even in this case, I mean, the you sit and go, what the fuck with David? Because again, the writing is bad. That there's this unnecessary, unearned tension that goes all throughout this, and I mean, it's annoying. But yeah,
at least
Idris Elba can't decide what his accent is on a regular basis.
And that's another weird thing, that they have all these actors playing a different accent than what they are. Basically, Idris Elba, who's British, is trying to be Southern, I guess, American. Charlize Theron is actually South African, but she's sort of American. Then you have Guy Pearce, who can't decide if he's American or British, even though he's British in real life. Noomi Rapace is Swedish, but she's pretending that she's British, and you can tell that she's Swedish pretending to be British. There's a lot of weird things going on here, and it's like nobody is playing whoever they are, except for the guy that plays Holloway.
Yeah, Logan Marshall-Green.
And the Rocks guy as well. He's consistent.
the geologist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm going to kill you. But
I mean, his character.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't Inuit and he's just faking that accent for all I know.
It's Christmas time, so
there's something I want to throw in too. Is like because they all wake up and like and I noticed the film does this a lot. Is that it goes out of its way to throw in dialogue that explains things in the world, but then intentionally forgets a lot of other things so that the plot can happen. So there's like, you're waking up out of hypersleep, like your body's reacting like this. Oh, hydration is really important. And then meanwhile, later on, it'll be like, oh, it's below freezing here, but the water's not frozen, but fuck it. We can just go dance around it anyways, even though we don't know what's in it. You know, it's this guy with the glasses, by the way, he introduces himself to the Rocks guy with a Southern accent, but when he dies, he has just a regular standard American accent.
person's accent.
And he's English. I'm pretty positive he's English. Because I know he's one of the Andes in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, that's right.
Oh God, he is.
That's
the other thing, so he's the biologist, right?
Yes.
This will come up later.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
The Scottish chick is also a biologist.
Yeah. But she's at least a bit more consistent in her line of work.
That's true.
I like how they do that quick introduction, like, "Hey, I'm a random, nerdy guy. I don't want to be anywhere near you. Get away from me."
Yeah, I'm a cool geologist, unlike he's nerdy biologist.
He's playing it off like like he's some badass. And I forgot about that character.
Yeah, I thought like he was like a mercenary or something. Yeah, something to be like their defense, but it's like, oh, he's a geologist. I was like, he is.
Yeah. It's like, okay, maybe he's just like one of the crew, and he's like, he's the space trucker. He doesn't give a shit.
That's
or whatever.
what I call me, the Rock.
You're a geologist, you ass clown. What are you talking about?
Yep.
I'm just here for a paycheck and this and that. What? Okay.
And then there was
they don't have good chemistry. the Swedish lady and that other dweeb,
Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah, they don't have good chemistry. I don't buy them as a couple.
Well, that's because
Agreed.
he is a flaming prick the entire movie, and she is just a
He doesn't
plank
act like
of
a
wood.
scientist.
What? Both of them don't act like scientists.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
She acts like she belongs like at a coffee shop doing like bad poetry or something like that.
He just got done backpacking through Europe.
Like, these are your scientists? What
No,
the heck?
they're like, it's like they got their PhD in youth ministry. This is the level. Oh, I saw a thing. I believe. Let's go. And this guy's faith is about as thin as a tissue paper, because the minute he's like, oh, they're not here. Fuck it. All this life shit. Right? He just becomes full nihilist somehow.
Yeah, and you don't learn anything about the other characters. It's just so fucking stupid.
There's nothing to learn other than they suck.
No, they suck.
In this scene, we learn that Peter Whalen, again, Guy Pearce with his accent, he can't decide, right? He had this pre-recorded video about like them coming out here, but the video tells us absolutely fucking nothing. It's literally just like an excuse to see Guy Pearce in prosthetics for about 60 seconds. And then we learned that
prosthetics ever.
And he tells everybody that David is an android.
Right.
Yes.
Again, it's just like telling us instead of showing us, right?
Yes.
And then the weird part is, so I don't know, I think all of us at some point have seen like some space crew videos of how people prepare to go into space and how there's bonding activities. And you've got fucking 20 niggas on this spaceship, like literally thousands of years away from Earth, right? And none of them know each other. None of them have any bonding whatsoever. None of them even know why they're on this ship. Does that not? Is that not a red flag?
I think what happened is Charlize Theron's character went into the cryo freeze store and said, "Yes, I'll take 3 of those, 2 of those. Just go ahead and don't wake them up. Just show them on here. When they wake up, we'll tell them what the hell is going on."
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, if you go by the year that they find the cave thing to this particular year, I believe they're 4 years apart, and it took them 2 years to get there. So that means y'all had 2 years to prep this, and none of y'all got to know each other.
Yeah.
Right. No.
And none of y'all know why you've accepted this job to, again, go literally thousands of years from Earth.
Oh, no. See, that ties back. That's why the destination is undisclosed, because everything else is undisclosed, too.
And
Like, here's some money.
like
Get
a
on this ship.
testicle.
Wait, what? Do I need to find a puppy?
Why does he look like a testicle?
He looks like a testicle.
You know what the
everything's gonna be
craziest
fine.
thing is? When I was watching it and I saw Guy Pearce, I said to myself, why is he in this movie with these prosthetics? It's so strange. And then I actually read that initially when they cast him, there was a plan to have an additional segment of the movie where he's young. And then when you'd see him old, it would make sense that he played the young version and the old version of himself. But at the end, they didn't even film that part. So they just cast him and made him old instead of just getting an old actor.
So
I say all the plot holes are basically answered by us getting to meet old Biff from Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, that's how he's able to build the Wayland Corporation. Is he had that
Sports
baseball
magazine.
trivia book and was able to make a huge
Magazine.
amount of money in the gambling.
Old Biff looked more convincing than this guy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Yes, he
listen, he wants the secrets of life, man. Why he was born. He wants to live forever, but he wants to find out who's
He
created.
doesn't tell them that.
No, of course not. Yeah, so this is where he tells the scientists kind of just to talk about their whole journey and why they. This guy is so happy. The rock guy is just like, yeah, man.
He's
I'm a
rocking out.
geologist. He's rocking out.
Look,
This many years in the
he's had a
future?
lot of regret about that facial tattoo, and it's really soured his.
It's showing. Yeah.
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 I
Go
mean,
back,
this
go back,
just
go back.
shows that, in a way, Prometheus was ahead of its time because it predicted how grumpy people with face tattoos would be.
Yeah. They knew.
That's very true.
There you go.
I kind of think there's probably not that many geologists you're working around. So, like, who are you trying to get attention from? My gosh.
Yeah, this is where they're trying to show them like all this.
Yeah,
know,
so
the-
they found those 6 planets drawn in like all of these different things, and bitch is like, oh, I think it's a sign that our
There's
creators
things
want us to
happening.
come find them. But then it goes into this discussion about how she's only on here because she's a true believer. So isn't that a direct conflict? Are you not really a true believer then if you believe that mankind was manufactured by someone else instead of God?
Well, no, they just believe in a creators, and as remember her memory of her father is, well, there's some people believe this, some people believe this. I choose to believe in this. What do you believe in? And then, well, apparently she believes that her dad's going to bleed out of his ass to death because he gets Ebola. But the stupid is just so thick in this thing. I mean, again, I stopped taking notes because I was going to have a PhD thesis on this turd because there's just every like second has something that just makes you want to claw your brain out, right? So let's just lay this out. Mr. Wayland, a ludicrously successful man, has two nutcases show up that go, we have seen paintings on walls and some carvings or whatever that have 6 dots on them. We believe from nowhere that somehow this points to our creators and this will send us to the place. And he then spends trillions of dollars to make this ship because fuck it, why not? Even though he has like days left to live, and he commits himself to this absurd plan. How did this man ever get out of the gutter with a tin cup begging for loose change with these kinds of decision making?
I think I have an answer for you. You know what? And it's the same answer that you have when we talk about what the fuck is going on at Disney. Incompetent.
Yes, I love it. It's so true.
I think he has dementia. And then everybody below him is incompetent, and unfortunately, nobody has replaced him because of his dementia.
Yeah. What have they engineered?
He's the Bob Iger of this universe.
Yeah,
with dementia. Bob Iger with dementia.
It's so fucking true. Oh my god, this guy
is going to be this far into the future and have the same haircut as Virus from Hunger Games.
Go ahead, Max.
Elizabeth Shaw, she starts off being like this really because like this was a character turn for her that didn't make any sense. She's very gung-ho, she's very sure about what she wants to find, and it's like right after they land, she turns into literally this dumb bitch, like just a ditzy bitch, and you're just like, how the fuck did you even get a PhD? How did you get here? Because her decisions no longer, again, when you're trained to go into space, you're also trained to deal with like situations that wouldn't normally happen. And these people have a terrible fucking response to everything that happens.
Yeah, they always choose the worst. Well, what they choose is whatever needs to happen for the plot to continue, even if it makes them complete fucking morons. But I mean, to be fair, she starts out that way. We're archaeologists, and you can see Charlie, the bonehead, is actually sifting things. She busts through rock and just strolls her happy ass right on in and takes a look. It's like, hey, everybody, let's come on, have big party here with on the Isle of Skye. It is fucking
took 8 months. Damien Lindelof took 8 months to write this.
I think it's because the original script was so good. It took him 8 months to retard it this level.
I would love to know what space Joel Osteen religion she belongs to, because other than wearing a cross necklace, there's no indication that she's religious whatsoever. Certainly not like
but
Christian.
What they're trying to do, and this is like why Damon Lindelof is kind of a shallow and not such a good writer, is that he's trying to create a situation where she's quote unquote a believer in faith, but she's also a scientist, and she manages to combine having the faith and the science side. So on one hand, that's why she believes these are the creators, and she's so kind of naive and has this kind of faith. Meanwhile, her boyfriend Charlie is sort of the opposite. He's like, all kind of doesn't have that kind of faith. He comes from a different place. He's more kind of like a jerk. I don't really know how to explain him, but he doesn't have her faith. If that makes sense. He's more kind of grounded. He's the other. When Lindelof wrote this, he probably thought to himself, this is so clever that they're kind of two different people with their faith and how they approach this. But at the end, he's not a good enough writer to make that even make any sense.
No, it's because he can't write humans.
I
Well,
guess.
certainly. I mean, well, if there's one thing Hollywood proves is they don't know how to write a Christian whatsoever.
No, absolutely
Because it's
not.
like
No.
they'll write like Muslims and Buddhists and more or less try to stay true to their religion. It's like, do you really not know anything about Christianity whatsoever? I mean, granted, maybe she's not a legit Christian. Maybe like just the cross is symbol that she believes in a higher power.
Wasn't it
or
her
God
dad?
or
Wasn't it
something
her
like that, but-
mom's? Wasn't it her mom's cross or something?
I think so, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I have no real bead on what she actually believes
No,
in.
I agree. I agree.
It's like I guess she
Well,
believes in a
She
God,
believes
but
in the 6 dots and the tall people that point at them. There we go. I
And
fixed it.
she doesn't believe in marriage because she's having all this premarital sex, and she also believes in abortion, as we see later on in the film.
Wow.
The whole point of this movie is it's the white liberal woman out in space. That's all.
Yes.
Doesn't find her answers about God, gives herself an abortion, and runs away from death with a guy who can't smell her cooch.
Actually, I think this also explains again that the engineer is a woman, because this is like a lesbian relationship. It gets abusive.
Yes, that is so true. So we get, this is where Mrs. Vickers, which is Charlize Theron, this is like her living space, right? Where they say a person can live here for 2 years. We're like, no.
Yeah, so like she lives in like this little contained, basically life support raft, which has its own water, its own food, everything. And she says it's to minimize risk. And as soon as she says that, she decides to make drinks for everyone.
Oh, see, it's not just me. Look, Josh had to cancel this recording because StreamYard's been fucked up.
Yeah, it's been a shit show.
It's been they're doing a lot of work on the back end. I've been there.
They're definitely working on our back end.
Yeah, they're a fucking mess right now because they got new ownership and they're trying to fix some. I was kind of reading about it earlier today, and there's going to be a lot of growing pains until it gets better. Not that it's gotten any better. Anyway,
it's gonna get growing pains before it bursts out of your chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or out of your uterus in this movie's
uterus. Yeah, this is the machine. So it's funny too because it says like what was the whole? Oh no, you find out later that it was only built from.
No, she says it here.
Oh,
she says it. She's like,
right?
oh my god, there was only 12 of these ever made.
Right. Yeah, that'd be pretty. Yeah,
honestly, the best job of attention to detail they probably pay in this movie is when that machine says it was calibrated for a man, and that's a hint that it's actually meant for Waylon. I'm like, that's the one time they maybe pay some attention to detail. It's a tiny little thing, and I'm like, okay, I guess
to fight the
I'm up for that.
patriarchy just to get surgery.
Yeah, but the thing is that they dropped that little nugget right in the middle of her trying to abort the alien, and so we're a bit busy with her. Dealing with all that, but yeah, it's
She hits says, "I'm no man."
I know, man. This is where she basically, tells
this thing
him,
would be perfect. It was made for a woman.
Yeah. This is where she puts them in their place, right? Because they're like, well, she's like, this is not for you. This is you're there to just gather information. Our company paid this, but you basically are.
Again,
she says it like,
yeah,
you're
like
my employees.
I understand that they're trying to like set up tension by having this, but again, it just doesn't make sense when you've got 20 people that went on a space mission to get here years from Earth. Like this tension makes no sense, and it would have actually been far better if they scrapped this conversation and it just went straight to the secret reveal that we get later on instead of doing this exposition dump for us.
So stupid. Oh, it's so stupid. Yeah. So
her
there's
accessing her Assassin's
yeah, this is where they have just a back and forth about why they're doing what they're doing. And then this guy, all he does is mock David the whole fucking time.
Yes.
And then he's surprised when he gets freaking experimented on with a worm going in his fucking brain.
Well, but again, that's the if they were trying to make Charlie the non-believer, the only reason that you would have disdain for David is because, as Waylon says, but he doesn't have a soul. Otherwise, he's essentially human in every way except he doesn't have a soul.
Doesn't have a soul.
Charlie's just dismissing him from the B jump, like you're less than. So he's acting like he has a belief. And oh, by the way, he acts like he's a believer right up until one small obstruction happens, and then he becomes a nihilist.
Yep. This is where she's like, "How are things?" And can I get your BBC? No, I'm just kidding. But
Charlize.
Yeah,
no, Charlize is holding out for that.
She does. It isn't also a deleted scene there that they added back in where she said he was a horrible lay. like as the ship's crashing at the end. She's like, "Oh, you're a horrible." I'm like, "Oh my god,
Really?
Thank God it's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid."
Really? That was in the.
That was in the. It was initially in the studio. Told him to pull it out.
Oh, that's
really
when they're
weird.
crashing it, and he tells her to run to the lifeboat because yeah,
By
you've
the
only
way,
got
you're
like
a
30 seconds or whatever.
lay.
Yeah, so her last parting shot is, by the way, you're a terrible lady. Thanks.
Yep.
None of the ladies in the audience were going to believe Idris Elba was.
No, they saw what a
No.
rigid bitch she
No.
was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is where they're coming into the planet and they're talking about the atmosphere. Again, this all looks nice. At least this part did. When
So
they're coming
I'd like
down-
to. So the Irish woman or Scottish woman or whatever, she says like, "Oh, the atmosphere is 3% carbon. So like, if you don't wear a helmet or whatever, you're gonna die." And
Right.
even though they have that information on hand, once they land and go into the dome thingies, they're just like, "Oh, it's breathable oxygen in here. So let's just take off our masks." But again, then all of that water that's flowing in is coming from a carbon-rich environment, which means that's basically just acid that's they're walking through, and it
Well,
does
it's not
nothing
even
to their
just that.
suits.
The funniest thing about Alien Covenant is the problem they face when they land on that planet could have very easily occurred here. Is when, yeah, okay, maybe the air is breathable, but there
But you
could be
don't
like
know
things
what's
floating
in the
around
air.
in the air that
Yeah.
actually
Right.
could like give you disease, and that actually happens in Covenant. It's like, you're kind of shooting your previous movie in the foot
the
more than
foot.
it needed to be. Holy crap!
Well, like,
You know, I
and then
compl-
there's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You're making.
I
a
was going
point.
to
Go ahead.
say, like, on top of that, these are like scientists from varying walks of life. And one of the consistent things that all of them would have encountered is if you go into an untouched space that's been closed off from life for a very long time, your carbon dioxide output can actually affect that environment. And they
Yep.
try to play it off later when shit starts changing, but not
Mhm.
one of these scientists bring it up when they take off their masks. And then
Yep.
they're surprised when shit goes haywire.
Yep.
To
Wow.
be fair,
if-
they're
if
surprised
We're
by
not scientists, and we see it. We recognize the stuff. You're telling me scientists, they won't. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty goddamn stupid.
You know what? These must have all been affirmative hire scientists graduates.
What was
or whatever. Maybe that's
what
it.
was the line he says where he tell the whatever the fuck the husband's like, "Oh, over there, something about God doesn't create in straight
Oh, God
lines or
doesn't
something."
build in straight lines.
Yeah,
Straight
it's building
lines.
straight
Yeah,
lines.
That's what it was. Okay, cool. And then the ship lands, and then they're like, it's a lot of just fucking science fiction bullshit here. And then of course they got to take David with them.
So one of my
Go ahead,
one of my complaints about this is that
One?
while well again but in this specific very small time window right of things, because that you have to have a constrained domain when talking about complaints of this fucking movie. The landing doesn't have near the kind of presence and feeling of risk that the Nostromo does when it lands on LV-426, right? No, by the way, the size of this ship, those thrusters are causing an effect on the ground more than just blow a little talcum powder around. Right. So, I mean, again, the visuals are pretty. They make no sense, and they keep making no sense throughout this movie.
Here's my favorite part of the movie. My job's to make sure you're safe. I bring the weapons. Nah, we don't need those. We don't need weapons.
Gosh, that was
We don't-
so
we don't-
freaking stupid.
We don't need to bring weapons to an alien.
And that
planet
he
where
even
we don't-
agreed to it. He'd be like, "No,
Yeah.
stupid. We're bringing
Okay.
weapons."
Yeah,
Are you-
I'm sorry.
are you
I wasn't
retarded?
asking. I was telling. This is what
Yeah.
happens.
Thanks,
Yeah, this
Brayton.
This is where this guy gives shit to David. Why do you wear the suit? You can breathe. Like you don't need to breathe. So who gives a shit? And he tries to tell him like that he was created to make them feel more comfortable. And so he's like, I'll wear the suit. to
Exchange
make
is
you feel
utterly pointless too.
It
It's
goes
not like
on
there's really no
meandering.
point to it. It's like I get what
Right.
they're trying to say, but it's like, yeah, but then they take their helmets off 3 minutes from now, so
Yes.
who freaking cares?
right.
It meant nothing.
And even
Well,
the
see,
scene that
they
they
had
take
to
off
take
their
them
helmets
off
is
because
annoying.
the plot had to happen.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sorry, what was
I
that
could've-
phrase?
Yeah. What were you saying, Price? Sorry.
I'm saying even the scene that they take off their helmets is annoying. He's like, "Why don't we just take them off?"
Yeah. I can
Oh.
breathe. It's like,
Like, if they actually cared and enough to think about space bacteria, then I could understand not letting robot boy get covered in that shit. But and they should have had the suit on for that reason, not exactly just to make you feel more comfortable, so I can make a passive aggressive statement.
Well, not like
that,
that,
he
but
actually,
these
he
are
could
supposed
say
to be
something like-
archaeologists. Right, so the idea is you go into a thing and you're trying to minimize your impact on it until you understand it and you measured it and all that stuff. But nah, Charlie got to just immediately yank that thing off and run around, with the red ass.
I'm even gonna spit on it first.
Yeah.
So he
Hawk to it here.
Yeah, so they could tell that the thing is hollow, but they couldn't tell what planet they were landing
Using a
on.
spectrograph.
Yeah, a spectrograph, and Jesus, dude, it's. Yeah, so they go. Yeah, they get
I like
to the
that
fucking dome.
the rock guy has like these two little balls that he calls pups.
Pup.
And
There's
again,
more
it
than
just
those.
it just goes to show again, like you guys really couldn't just wait for this thing to fucking scan the building before you went inside, and clearly it does
Right?
it very quickly on top of that. But no, we
Mhm.
got to listen to Dr. Holloway because it's fucking Christmas apparently, and it's super important that we explore this deadly planet. This foreign body on Christmas Day.
So it's my gift.
Like I can't wait till the next day. And the other thing is, obviously, there's a storm coming, and they don't realize that it seems till 15 minutes before it happens. Like, maybe
Right.
that would have been a good reason to say, "Hey, by the way, we can't go in.
Gord.
There's only 6 hours of day left, and there's a storm coming. Sorry, gotta wait till tomorrow."
Gord, two scientists get lost for half the movie, and then they just like, fuck off, I'm going to bed.
With the map. The map.
So I gave up at that point. I literally, even so Sassy was watching, kind of like doing stuff in the background. She would come back and go, not even pay. She's like, "What the fuck is going on in this movie?" I'm trying to, don't ask. I'm explaining to her what's happening, and she's like, "Wow, this sounds fucking retarded." I was like, "It's the stupidest script I've seen in years. Like, it's so out of place." But anyway, yeah, this is where the pups go. You see the pups in the background there, real quick.
Yeah, by the way, these things have like fusion reactors in them that power them for days somehow. Because you've got the one that just keeps hanging out there at the closed door.
Right. And there he is, Mr. Oh, no, sorry. He's not a mercenary. He's a geologist.
Let me get the money.
Yeah, there's the hologram scene where it's mapping out everything, which they don't realize is a ship until the last 5 minutes of the movie. But, yeah.
Yeah, and he realizes it by turning it a certain way. That's a ship.
No, it says remove the pyramid or the mound or whatever. And as soon as they do that, it's like, oh, shit.
Yep. Oh, my fucking God. There we go. Yeah, it just makes no goddamn sense. Oh, yeah, this is where they map the whole...
generous. This thing actively, destroys itself from second to second. Right?
There we go.
Not even scene to scene. Within scene. It'll be like, I said a thing. Suddenly we forgot everything about that and did the opposite thing anyway. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, this is the part that I laughed out loud. I think this is when I was like we were in the middle of just messaging each other. And I was like, oh, and by the way, they take their helmets off when they're on a foreign planet. We're just all laughing because it's so fucking stupid.
Oh my God.
Wish me luck. But this guy's fucking responsible for all these people.
Right. He's responsible for everything. He's the biggest idiot. It's so annoying. It doesn't make any sense.
And he's a scientist. Like, that's stupid. Like Vex said, what kind of fucking scientists are these people?
Just as a precaution. I don't care how.
I think
how
phrenology was his. He reads the bumps on people's heads and figures out what they're.
I don't care how kind of happy-go-lucky you are. When you're on this planet that could have the weirdest shit in the world, and you're all like in spacesuits, and you're like, "Nah, just take it off. What's gonna happen? Look at me, baby." Like that's the most unprofessional thing that.
Well, and everybody knows that viruses just immediately murder you if you take your helmet off. Oh no, I breathe and it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Right. And then they're just like, well, he did it, so we'll do it too.
Yeah.
So
Do you remember in Alien where they go out there and they encounter those things, and Sigourney Weaver doesn't want to let them back in the ship because, like, it's like that. Yeah. Like there was that level of precaution, and here you've got all these scientists in this thing, and they're like, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's fine."
Yeah,
it's
space like, no, truckers understood better how to quarantine than these idiots.
Yeah, and then David finds the goo.
And just knows how to open this door. I'm like, okay.
Well,
I
he's a
guess.
linguist, right? That's why we saw him studying the language, is he knows.
Language.
just
Yeah, I
all
get.
of
I mean, I
it.
get that he's a linguist, but I'm like, that enables him to know like the door sequence, whatever this
Yes,
is.
Gord, exactly. That's
Wow.
Yeah,
exactly what-
my wife knows English. She cannot master unlocking my computer.
Oh,
Touch,
this
touch,
is the best
touch
part.
friend and enter.
Yeah.
One cunning linguist.
This part made me laugh out loud when Vex got
Oh
to
my
this part. She goes, "Why does the hologram create wind?"
Why is the hologram in the first place?
Yeah, why does the ship actually have? We need to record a plot point to make sure these people know.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I hope they don't film a movie around here. Otherwise, we'll have to automatically trigger plot points.
Can I play this?
Yeah, they have
Look at his
this
hair!
hologram to explain to anybody that happens to come to this planet what happened on the planet.
Right, but can you imagine being like the visitor? Every time you walk by this door, it just triggers these motherfuckers running by.
Yeah.
This is a
It's like,
script
could
writer.
somebody turn that shit off? I am
It
so
Nah,
doesn't
bro.
make any
The alien
sense.
was trying to get popular on YouTube with his flute solo.
Oh, God. Well, that's so the reason that the wind has to happen is because that alien hologram has to actually punch buttons on the console.
Well, hold on. The whole like, oh, they need to explain what happened here before doesn't make any sense because again, this is just for the other. Okay, because we learned in Covenant, right? The aliens or the engineers had sent people to that planet to do that specific,
Right.
world-ending virus thing, right? So like to
Right.
leave a recording of what happened doesn't make sense when they were incommunicado with their home planet. Secondly, we learn by the end of this movie that there's literally dozens of these ships too. So they all somehow met the exact same fate in concentrated domes.
It's so stupid.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever to have a recording, except for, oh, now we get a little bit of backstory for the engineers. That's all it does.
And this is where we lose the geologist because he's like, oh, you know what? I'm getting out of here because all these dead engineers.
Since
with
I
their
go-
helmets-
Oh, we don't just
Yeah.
lose the
Dead
geologist.
the biologist. too,
We lose
sorry.
a biologist who apparently can't handle a dead body. Fuck
They're
this
okay.
shit. Oh, but later he wants to play cuddle time with
Yeah,
live
with
things.
with a fucking
But,
moving.
but then they
dildo.
never go back to the ship, do they?
No, because they got lost.
And
Because-
nobody
never mind, the
cares.
geologist has
Right,
the
and
map.
nobody
He made
nobody
the
noticed
map.
that they were
Bro,
gone.
I literally
They didn't
watching
hail
the
them
movie.
when they were calling them back, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why is their communication off? None of that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And then
There's no
Alba's-
reason he should be this scared to begin. None of them should be this scared. It's like you haven't justified that remotely.
No.
Idris Elba
What is
is
going
in
on?
the ship. He's in the ship
Sorry,
talking to them. and
what
there's
were
no
you saying
like,
there, Price?
Yeah, sorry, Bryce. Go ahead, bro.
I was saying that they got lost and nobody noticed, and then they were just gone, and nobody even mentioned it. Nobody
you.
even said, "Hey, there's 2 guys missing. Why don't we go back and get them?"
Yeah.
They just went about. Idris Elba went and banged Charlize Theron.
Well, no. So
Bro.
that's they had the storm. The storm is the reason they couldn't go get him. But
Oh.
Oh no!
But oh, by the way, there's an excellent plot convenience for why nobody notices these motherfuckers haven't made it back to the ship. Somehow, everybody has a drivable vehicle except these 2 who walk.
I'd like to point out
That's
too is
so
when they
weird.
all leave this place, right, and they get into the vehicles, they even point and notice that the extra vehicles are there, that like they didn't
Right.
go back. On top of that, even though Idris Elba goes to bang Charlize Theron, there's 2 other people that captain the ship that are just gone the rest of the movie.
Yeah, just
They
gone.
don't leave.
And
They
we
don't-
have
they don't
touch
stay in the
screens and we
console.
can read people's minds, but we can't
just-
record communications that come in.
Well,
They
and
just
they're
fuck off.
communicating with each person individually on their own little comms, and it's like, so when they were telling them, "Hey, you all need to get back," they weren't hearing this because they don't
Right.
show them. Then it's
No.
not till they're stuck there. They're like, "Oh, we left these guys. Whoops!"
Yeah, this
Like
is
they
where
didn't
Da-
get the call.
This is where your boy David Gord opens the door, and then they go in. They see like the head. It's like severed heads and all this crazy.
Well,
It's
she
just
at least has the sense to go, wait, don't.
yeah.
And David has a different agenda.
Yeah.
He's
He's
hiding it about as well as a stripper on the pole is hiding her.
Yeah, they're seeing
I
all this
feel
weird.
like the Charlie actor that they it ended up that they had no more budget, but they still needed to hire one more actor.
Yeah,
I mean, Logan Marshall-Green is capable of acting well. It's just they always seem to cast him as this kind of part, and it's just not him. I mean, like he's really good in Upgrade. He's if you've never seen
Yeah,
The
he was
Invitation,
good.
he's good in that.
Yeah.
Upgrade was good.
But yeah, it's like when you just have him playing just regular guy who's supposed to be a scientist, it just doesn't work.
Well, also he can't speak half the time, right? There was a line that he gave, and it's when David does the "you people" thing.
Yeah.
And he says something in response, and I was like, wait, what was that word? And I backed it up. My wife and I listened to it 4 times. I still don't know what the fuck word he says.
Yeah. So this is where they find the mural. So supposedly this is the god that they supposedly worship, the engineers, but they never explain what the fuck this actually is.
Which looks like a xenomorph.
Yeah. It looks like a xenomorph, 100%. So it's like it's implying something here, but it's like nothing. This is it. Now, I think in the deleted scene video on YouTube, it kind of goes a little bit more into why they worship. Some shit, like there's more background on this, but it's not much. This makes no sense. You just see this almost like they threw it in as an Easter egg, and it's like, okay, move on. And then even
why is this on a warship? It's like carving.
Yeah.
It's like carving the Pieta on like a carrier ship. It's like, what does that make any sense? That's weird.
No, but also there's nothing there to demonstrate that they believe in this as some sort of god or anything, right? It's just here's the thing. And as all anthropologists and archaeologists do, if they don't understand it, it's very clearly a religious ritual. That must be it, right? Because that's the only explanation you can come up with. Because otherwise, what the fuck is this thing doing here?
Yeah, here's the black goo that David touches. That's alive, which is always fun. That doesn't. So he. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I think again the arc with David is really the only redeeming part, because it does touch on what happens when androids develop that kind of sentience of their own. What would they do? So I do like where they decide to go with that, but just he's been a support character the entire time throughout this film, and all of a sudden now he's doing things on his own. The switch doesn't make any sense, even if you're going from he has no moral compass. He has no sense of what is like right or wrong as a man, because he has no soul. But it's just because all the other androids in the previous films, they all acted as support. They weren't inherently weird like David is.
Right.
I mean, there was a way they could have done this better. Maybe if the scientists would tell him to take this goo. And later there was that conversation where I forget his name, Charlie acts like a douche and says, "Oh, like I want to see what my creators thought of me." And then he says, "Well, why did you create me?" And he's like, "Because we could." And then he said, "What would you do if your own creator said that to you?" So maybe after he acts like a douche, he starts changing, something like a short circuit glitch, and then he doses his drink with that goo. At least I would think that there was something that triggered it. But here, he's already an asshole from the beginning.
Yeah, but
they do.
There's an argument for why that is.
Go ahead. The little meet and greet when the recording says he doesn't have a soul, he does look a bit bothered by that. Yeah. So they have at least given that a little bit of progression, but you kind of get the sense that he's come to this notion that he wants to create for himself, probably beforehand. But
hold on, why does he want to create for himself though?
So that's the overarching reason that he's behaving in this way is that he is not in service to them. He's in service to Wayland. He communicates with Wayland using the dream speaker thing. Right. So he is operating on Wayland's agenda. The reason that he is checking out the goo, the reason he's doing all that stuff is because Wayland is looking for a way to become immortal. And they have not yet found the living creator. So David is operating on the must find all of this stuff. Here's all this tech. He realizes it's biological. He goes and experiments with it. His first test of it is to give it to Charlie the ass clown. Charlie essentially volunteers for that by being a douche. But there's the David, acting oddly, kind of doing things that people are like, wait, no, don't open that. And he's, oh, oops. And I did that. The understanding is that he's operating on, with a different agenda. The thing is that he keeps getting creepier and crazier and nobody notices.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good explanation. Yeah.
the way it unfolds also isn't as good as it should be.
No. Well,
No.
that's this entire movie.
This
Yeah.
entire
See,
movie doesn't
yeah,
unfold properly.
David's taking the black goo back with them, and then they're bringing the head of one of the engineers, and the storm's coming. Yeah, this is where the it's creepy. As fuck.
Okay, this storm is. Oh yeah, first of all, what the fuck is this skull doing on
Is that
on a
what is the
mountaintop?
skull? Yeah.
Look,
It's just-
Skeletor also lives on this planet. It's fine.
The power.
Yeah, it's meant to just be symbolic of like, oh, it's not actually they're coming to meet their creators. It's they wanted to kill them. It's foreshadowing, but it's really shitty
Right.
foreshadowing.
Yeah, we just
Mount,
need some
Mount
crossbones.
Rushmore.
But so they get on the thing, right, and they're driving back in this storm that just came out of nowhere that they had no technology to see well in advance.
Right.
So when they get to the ship, right, the wind hits. She drops the head, and the wind hits Cannoli. You can fast forward a little bit here.
Listen.
So I'm describing the movie. You know.
Yeah,
it's-
she's busy. Oh, by the
She's
way, they
paying
make
attention.
2 callbacks. So Charlie says, "David, we are leaving." Right. This is Aliens callback to Marines. We are leaving. But then she's riding and facing backwards and basically pulls a Jurassic Park. Must drive faster kind of thing, right? Because
Yes.
storm is
Okay.
catching us.
But like, so yeah, she drops the head as they get to the thingamajiggy, right?
Good.
And the storm hits her, and so the wind is coming straight at them, but it knocks her to the side. And then when they go to rescue her, the wind is still knocking them straight ahead, and it's knocking them in a straight direction.
Not only that, but she the, like head and her like get up and move around. Meanwhile, ATV that weighs several, hundred, if not 1,000 pounds, just gets up and blows away.
Tossed.
Even
Gets
though it has
knocked.
no surface area to catch it, it's all tubular.
Right.
But she somehow
She's
is
okay.
not rolling around and flying
I
off
love
into
how, I
the
love how David fucking captures him and gives him like the thumbs up. That's the guy. He's like, I got you, we're good. And he's just it's so fucking funny. But yeah, Vex is right. It makes no sense how she got blown all the way towards the backside of the fucking it's retarded. It's just it's retarded. But they get rescued, of course. And
Most of them,
most of them did anyway.
because
Yeah.
meteorology has seriously regressed.
Thank you, David.
Dude, suddenly storm
15
just
minutes
can't be predicted.
Yep. They have to do their fucking
That
whatever they
storm was
call it.
probably laying in the tall grass just waiting.
It
and
also it's also so weird. They act like, well, I guess all the engineers are extinct when they're on this very small part of the planet, and there's a few of them dead. And I'm like, okay, maybe these ones are dead, but you've basically just found the equivalent of a ghost ship. Okay. That doesn't
No,
mean
but-
they're all dead.
No, I've run into some sort of obstruction. My faith is gone. I am a nihilist. Life is shit.
And then
They're
there's
like,
a law.
hey, look, there's a few bodies. God is dead.
Mhm.
Like, what?
This is the lost scientist, and he's like, "Yeah, well, we can't do anything for you right now." But how the fuck did you get lost in the first place when you
Yeah,
left before everybody?
You are the one with the map, you ass clown.
Fucking. And they left like what 10 minutes before everybody else.
Yeah,
So
if those things, if
clearly-
he doesn't have a ship for those things to be linked to, he doesn't have his own device that it links to.
No, he
Right,
saw
and
it. Yeah, I
Oh.
mean he was reading the map.
He clearly doesn't love rocks that much when he can't
No.
figure his way out of a rock palace. Just
Especially when they go in, they turn left. That's it. You can't turn around, go back, and then I know the
You
exit's
got
going to be on the
lost.
right because it's the way I fucking came in. Nah, bro,
Mhm.
that and then suddenly we're out.
You
in the
know
middle of
what? I'm okay. I'm changing my mind. You know what? Yeah, no. This movie is kind of brilliant because this is exactly what happens when you hire people based off their political beliefs or their skin color.
Yes,
Then
yes.
you get a bunch of idiots like this on intergalactic. Like this movie is foreshadowing what current dayisms do in the future. So maybe this is
Mhm.
secretly
It's
really
based-
brilliant.
I think
Yeah.
this is Prometheus bringing retardation to the to humanity from Mount
Mhm.
Olympus because it certainly isn't fire.
Yep.
Mhm.
This
And
is where
30
they-
years from now, we're gonna be like, okay, look, we're going back to analog. We're gonna let truckers run things. It's gonna be
Yes.
a lot better. We promise.
We're gonna have a lot
we finally make America great again. About 25 years after this movie, is when we finally
Yeah,
get
we
there.
declare the Butlerian jihad and call it a day. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. So they figure out this is a helmet, and then they try to convince what's her name? The fuck, Charlize that they need to open it.
Meredith.
Meredith. Sorry,
Meredith Vickers.
Yeah, Vickers. That's the
this.
one.
This is, I think, when I was watching this the first time, this is when the hate began to burn inside me, because I was like, I don't want to know. I didn't. It was best to leave Alien with just that. It's a mystery. This is an alien, and he did a thing. Why am I visiting the homeboy that was sitting there in the big chair from the original movie? Fuck off, Ridley. Fuck off. I don't want to know about this. Stop it. Don't pollute this.
That's all. Then she figures out a way. Yeah, doesn't she say? Well, what the fuck exactly does she put into his brain to like reactivate?
So they have like a little. It's like a little what's like a defibrillator almost. So it just shocks them.
It's a neurostimulator. Yeah, and she's like, hit it with 30 amps first. But first of all, this head is 2,000 years old.
Yep.
2,000 years it's been sitting here. Why when you poke it does it not just turn into paper mache and blow away?
It's like the veggies in the back of your fridge.
Because like you just said, like, oh, it's regenerating new cells.
From what? It's been sitting for 2,000 years. There's nothing to regenerate.
Matter. It's been explained, Goodwin. It's been explained.
Oh yeah. The plot said so. It's fine.
Ziploc technology goes a long way, people.
Well, there's however that problem with the hole at the base of the helmet that used to be where the body was.
Especially in the future. This guy's like, I don't want to. He's drinking. He's like, fuck you. I don't.
I'd like, I'm also curious why there's so much alcohol on this ship. Like this also does. You said you wanted to reduce risk, Meredith, and you hired most of these people, but then you put them in an isolated ship where nobody knows each other or likes each other, and you just plowed them with alcohol? What?
How else do you think that they're going to tolerate this script? Also, why is nobody wearing hazmat suits when we're fucking with an alien head?
Because the air was
and why does the alien head look like Woody Harrelson?
I was gonna say, it's a great cameo. It's a great cameo.
You can't unsee that now.
Yeah, did they have to pay him for the image? The likeness? Does he get a screen credit?
And then this part, if it wasn't obvious who he was talking to, if you didn't I had a friend of mine who watched this like about 3 weeks before we even did this. We're doing this now, and he was like, "Man, I rewatched Prometheus, and it's so good." And did you know? I was so shocked by the part where I was like, "It's so obvious who the fuck he's talking to."
Yes,
it's
you know, it was obvious to me because Guy Pearce wouldn't just be in one scene. I'm still surprised that they kept him, even though they cut out the part that he's young. Why did it make sense to bring an old Guy Pearce if you didn't need him for the young segments?
It's just, well,
you couldn't even just cast an old guy who kind of looks like him anyway. Like I don't like generally when they do the old person makeup unless they're going to do it right. And it's weird. Like I still think probably the best old man makeup I've seen on a younger actor was in Amadeus when like Salieri.
Salieri.
Like that was true 40 years ago, and they've gotten worse at it.
Yeah, well,
I think that they were considering of giving the role to Max von Sydow, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, whatever his name is, and then they're like, no, we need Guy Pearce, and I still don't understand why. And it took 5 hours of makeup to make Guy Pearce look like a discount old Biff.
A testicle.
Like if your testicles look like that, Gord, you need to see your position.
This is where Vickers gets like violent. She's like, "What's his plan? What's he saying?" And of course, you find out later that it's her fucking dad, which is retarded,
and which is a dumb twist. Also, I just
so
thought
stupid.
It was a twist that meant nothing to me when it happened.
No, none of these characters mean anything. Nothing.
Wrong boy died.
The thing about this scene, especially because I've already seen the movie once, and so this scene becomes even more retarded for me. But on first view, the assumption is she is also an android because she's throwing around David like he's a ragdoll.
Doesn't she get asked that?
I thought he was going to bang her. I thought that there was going to be some stuff going on.
Yeah, he's just fucking with her. But the thing is that this is an android. You saw Ash grab a hold of Yaphet Kotto and basically make him his bitch with one hand.
Yep.
And you've got a girl throwing around David and it's nothing. And I'm like, okay. So again, on first viewing, it was like, they're both androids. And then after it's revealed, no. And I'm like, What the fuck is happening? This is
well,
stupid.
okay. I could maybe see a scenario where if you've given him some level of programming, like they eventually do with like Bishop or something, where you're wanting them to be subservient, that he's just letting her. Like, I mean, granted, David's putting on a facade at this point, but maybe that's the facade he's putting on. Is I'm subservient to you, but I can't tell you this because I answered to him first. It's like
no, that's fine on the dialogue side, but the she physically throws him.
It's still really odd looking.
Well, this is where they figure out that the DNA is the same as theirs, so they find out.
You know what? You know why they did it? They did it for the fan fiction, man. There you go. It's for all those.
You know what?
You're
probably
the shippers.
right.
The shippers needed it.
Exactly.
You're probably
exactly.
right. Yeah. So the DNA matches from the engineer that exploded and matches the human DNA. So hey, these are our.
Woody Harrelson is the perfect human specimen.
He is.
This movie does confirm, and that's beautiful.
She's like, I found them. And this is where the squid fucking god comes out. This was crazy. Yeah. So he's like playing with it. What does he say? Like all beginnings. What the fuck does he say?
Great things have small beginnings.
Small beginning. That's what Sassy said to me.
They just needed him to say that so they could put it in the trailer.
Sorry. But yeah, like it's just like you said, Vex, his whole intention, like his story was probably the only part of the movie that was
This is like this is where you can kind of see like old Ridley, I feel, pop out a bit.
A little
because,
bit.
Again, the approach with the whole like giving something that's non-sentient a sentient mentality. What could that do? It's an interest, and I think it's semi-interesting in Covenant still, but it goes a little off the rails there.
Yeah, the attempt. Christ, oh my! I think oh my god, this shit. But the idea is they're trying to parallel the engineers with that they create life and then can choose to destroy it in the same way that humans have created David. And he has his own, I mean, maybe the engineers were like, no, the reason we need to get humans is because we don't think they have a soul. Zodom. But the thing about, again, there's an unearned tension with David this whole time. Again, this ass clown just off the B jump is treating him like he's an appliance or something. And David is hostile to humans, even though he's programmed to interact and try and make them comfortable, but he drops the you people thing, and is very clearly like there's a condescension to it. Now, you're right that with early Wayland that discussion that David does kind of act like that's hurtful to him, right? And that again, if other people are treating him a certain way, okay, but they also keep acting like he has no emotion, which is not the same as soul, right? Soul is a religious conception.
This should have been a very rewarding moment that they built up towards, and instead, the only buildup is this conversation.
Right, and again, it's because Charlie decides to go nihilist because he stubbed his toe, so there is no God. And David is basically, well, I can't drink because alcohol isn't worth anything, and then he starts to pose some interesting questions to Charlie, and unfortunately, Charlie is an idiot and can't actually provide any meaningful dialogue because David Lindelof.
He's a fucking
eats
idiot.
his own feces. I don't know what the hell is going on with this.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yet he's this guy's a scientist, but he can't put a fucking sentence
together. I'm surprised I'm still surprised this actor got the gig. Everybody in this movie is a really good actor. You have Michael Fassbender, you have Idris Elba, Charlize Theron is a pretty good actress. Even the lady that plays Shaw, whatever her name is, she's all right. There's good actors here. How did this guy get the role?
I don't know.
But the dramatic change of the geologist and his buddy down here,
it's shit,
ridiculous from being an asshole like earlier to now, like, hey, we found aliens and we're lost.
Well, they share a cowardice. They're both cowards. Game recognizes game. Hey, bro, you like to be a coward? I like to be a coward. Let's hang out.
If they were a coward, why did they walk away from the whole crew? The whole crew is there together. They're like, we're scared. Let's just walk into the abyss.
Well, no, they thought they were going to run back to the entrance, but apparently forgot that they had the map and didn't read it, and then get lost. And
that is the dumb. These are all supposed to be scientists, biologists, geologists, all these like fancy people with degrees. And these two idiots couldn't figure out that they don't have the map and they don't have any vehicles, and they're just like, we're walking away, and then they walk. It's dumb. It's really dumb. I'm sorry.
Yes, I mean this whole thing is just contrived. And again, why have they suddenly been lobotomized or suffered blunt force trauma to the head? Because plot needed to be this right here. Where it's like, where are you? Oh, we're at 7471477. If you know your exact location, why the hell?
How'd you get lost?
Right.
How'd you get lost?
Yeah, and they're talking about how, like, in the probe is like, is this where the probe gets like stops at one location? And
yeah, that's the one where they're like, we keep getting a ping, like there's movement or something.
Yeah. Look, he's just
like,
whatever.
oh, it disappeared. Guess it's no biggie. It's like,
oh well, what do you mean a
It's a
ping?
glitch.
Oh my god, that was one I wrote down. It was like, you're the captain of the fucking ship.
Yeah,
these people are like shitting. You just amped up their tension, and then we're like, nah, bro, I'm gonna go play the hurdy-gurdy or something. I got better things to do.
Dude, he's still wrapped up in a blanket. He's just been jacking it all day. He does not care.
Yeah. That white.
And by the way,
woman,
speaking of good actors that got wasted, Sean Harris is a dang good actor. I mean, he's Solomon Lane in the Mission Impossible movies. This guy can act. He's really good.
It's fucking terrible. It's just
if you give him a character, which they definitely didn't do here.
Yeah. There's the holograms again. Oh my god. Fucking holographic recording. This is where this is the part where
wait, hold on. So they do have the technology to watch recordings. It's just only
Yes!
there's the plot. Oh wow.
Yes.
You just didn't feel like watching them until now.
That's so fucking stupid.
It was really cool of Shaw to keep that still while looking at the hologram too. No,
and all of a
waving
sudden
nothing.
They're trying to get romantic and show these people. I don't give a fuck about these. This is the whole point. Like, these characters are so badly written. I didn't care.
Again, this just shows that Ridley Scott is horny. He couldn't get Ripley to fuck the alien in Alien. So ever since, he's just trying to get people to bone in this universe. That's really all it is.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. That's true.
I think the bigger thing is that the first Alien has a lot of body horror and very much a non-consensual sexual theme, if you will, right? And so he's going back to farm that. The problem is it's like he's forgot how to do it, and again also that he went to the nearest short bus and hired the writer to write this, and so between Ridley forgetting how to do a lot of the basic stuff, the visual stuff, but the script makes it so stupid that it's just it's contrived BS, and so it looks like fetish thing because there's no real setup.
I agree. And then even here, she's all excited. Like, she got the answer she wanted, and he, like you said, he's just like, oh, whatever. I didn't get my answer, so.
Yeah, I stubbed my toe. You didn't stub your toe.
Yeah. And then doesn't he tell her to take? Why do you take the cross off? What the fuck does he say here about the cross?
Yeah, it's like you could take it off
now,
now.
Your creators are or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, who created them? And
right.
Okay. It's just
and he's like
surface level exploration of faith. It's
also, we knocked on one door. Nobody answered. I guess everybody in the city is at home.
Yeah. And then this is where he's like, well, she says something about I can't create life either. What does that say about me?
No, he says like anyone. It turns out anyone with DNA can create life, huh? And then she again, like a woman, takes this personally. She's like, "Well, I can't create life."
Then I mentioned that I'm sterile, I'm barren, I have it's a dried up husk inside me.
This felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yes, again, it's like the leap on this, right? And again, this is such shit writing. My God, it is terrible.
That's what I mean.
The best part is that his solution to her having woes about being infertile is to nut in her.
Yeah. How about some dick? Would that make you feel better?
Yep.
Right. Let's have some unprotected, unmarried sex.
And David's plan depends on his ability to impregnate a barren woman with space goo. Because he has a drop of space goo, an hour later he can get a barren woman pregnant.
I don't think this is David's plan. I don't think David knows what it'll do. Right. That's why he gives him the drip or whatever. That's why he acts a bit surprised when he's like, "Oh, and you're pregnant." because when he sees the scan, he kind of there's kind of a surprise.
That's not possible
on his face. Yeah, and then she's like, "Well, that's not possible." Well, I'm looking at the scan, and it's pretty clearly.
There's Idris playing what was he playing, an accordion? What the fuck was he
hurdy-gurdy?
playing? Hurdy-gurdy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then he asks her, "Are you a robot?" It's like, oh, so you thinking that too?
Yeah,
huh?
this whole scene is basically him calling her a lesbian. You know, and being like, "Oh, she won't sleep with me. She must obviously be a lesbian." You know, a robot.
No, it's your
and
frigid.
he gets laid.
Yeah, it's like if you want to fuck me, just do that. And she's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. This, that, whatever. Oh, you must be frigid. Be my quarters in 5 minutes. I'll show you who's frigid. All right,
Dude, it
thanks.
works. It works.
You know what? I gotta give some props to Idris Elba for pulling that off.
Yeah,
he tried.
Yeah.
He got it. I mean, that was well played.
He got what he wanted. I'm telling you that
But apparently he's a bad life. Yeah.
But
That's
it's like
not
the
canon.
internet
The bad
incel
lay is not
argument.
canon. It's not officially in the movie.
Well, officially, this isn't a movie.
Yeah, it's true.
This is Ridley just dipping his finger in all of our drinks and seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's roofing us.
He's got black goo on his finger.
Yeah.
Ow!
Oh,
Gooch!
wow.
What's up, Gooch? Apparently, StreamYard is having a retard moment again. So if we're sounding a little odd to anybody,
I'm honestly not hearing that on my
No, it's Bexon or
people
Canadian internet.
Oh, okay, it's just Canada. It's just Canada. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Blame
Canada. Blame Canada. It's just like, I'm going to give you that big.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I want to go back to my room and listen to Crosby, Stills and Nash.
We're gonna create a human Oreo, baby.
Yeah. I'm gonna play some yacht rock.
Wow.
What the fuck am I watching here? I forgot. It's movies. Oh, they're back to these idiots. Okay, cool. Is that tobacco?
As far as you
Oh,
know.
because he's smoking. He's actually smoking in his I fucking hate this movie. I fucking hate this movie so much. They can't read maps. They get lost, but he can fucking smoke tobacco, and I hate these people. I really.
Well, that's because the geologist is a Twitch streamer.
It's just so fucking stupid. I'm like, oh my god, I hate these fucking people.
Oh yeah, and you just see him smoking the tobacco, and you're like, this is the peak retardation. It can't. Oh my god, another 30 seconds went by, and somehow it got worse.
Hi,
Right
Vex.
now,
Welcome back. Are you okay? Is Vex
Yeah,
there?
it's still fucking up for me.
you're coming across good.
You sound great.
Oh,
Well, let's
okay.
not
So
go that
okay,
far.
at least it's not affecting that.
Yeah.
We did get a super
fries
chat
and
from
Postman
chips. Postman's. I'm gonna have Jay Goodwin.
Fuck you,
read
Heidi.
this super chat. Go ahead, Mr. Goodwin.
Postman's Lounge, wrenched for $5. I don't think Ridley wanted the alien to bone Ripley. Everything I read said he wanted it to rip her head off. Well, okay.
He said that he wanted them to bone. He said
Yes,
that.
no, it's actually in the original script. There's sex, and then it was changed.
You know what?
Right.
Postman, even if this echoes, I'm sorry if it does stream art, but I'm gonna play this anyway.
Darling, just the dandy fairy, and I'm here to tell you that
No.
Oh, that shouldn't have dropped acid before the stream.
No.
That's a sassy.
Man,
The
I was
echo
gonna
made
get you to
that
play
way
my-
creepier.
Oh my god.
I was gonna get you to play my clip, but no, do not.
No, we'll save
Do
that
not
for
come.
another
Do
super.
not come.
Thank God these are stills, otherwise the smears would get
that
really
looked
bad.
that looked like a geologist of the future.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, maybe 30 inches. Oh, she's not talking about Idris Elba. I'm sorry, she's talking.
Yeah,
We're talking
nobody
about
records this. Yeah, this
Yeah.
this transmission never happened.
No, this doesn't happen. No. This is where they get-
Meanwhile,
Nice that the captain can just say, you know what, I'm going to bang this lady. Like, everybody just doesn't care about anything. On
They
this
it's good to be the
mission, really.
captain.
they see dead bodies and run like little bitches, but they
Yes,
see
but
fucking
living
snake,
things.
a fucking alien snake come out. Oh, look! Come on, buddy. Let's
Yeah,
play.
oh baby, aren't you cute? And then it spreads its fucking head like a cobra, and the biologist is like, "Oh no, that means that it wants to make sexy time. Let me go
Yeah.
ahead and give it a kiss."
Unbelievable. I'm just like, who? You're right. I'm watching this, and whoever wrote this
Bro,
movie,
put your dick in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I'm here.
I mean that's more
kisses him,
believable
Kevin.
actually. Be
Yeah,
like, I mean,
really,
I've been here a
really.
while. It's
it hisses and gets aggressive, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." I'm like, "Oh my
gosh,
God,
this is
just
so
die already."
idiotic.
You know, I think that the more interesting part is that these guys have been walking around here. They see that this room has clearly changed from, just dormant vases to now liquid on the fucking floor. And out of nowhere, a creature comes out, and their immediate reaction is to try and coddle it instead of run the fuck away.
Now, to be fair, it's not day.
Hold on. Just moments earlier, they were freaking out about the pup pinging something live.
Yeah. No, so again, it's not day. So geologists and biologists both become the cowardly lion when they see a dead 2,000-year-old dead body. They then run away. Now, when this motherfucker decides to show up, geologist is more than willing to replay cowardly lion and run away again. Biologist, however, forgot that he's actually a coward and decides to make sexy time with it.
And now he gets religious when he's dying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
that thing.
The answer to so many questions were just put your dick in it. Like,
look at this.
Dude with her earlier, then Idris Elba, and and chick, and then here we go.
Look, he's getting deep.
Even the alien's thinking about putting his dick in it.
Well, see, this was a surprise. The biologist didn't realize this is trans. He thought it was a girl because he kept using female terms. Next thing he knows, he has a dick in his mouth.
Oh God, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah. And then they wake up after as Vex said, he nutted in her. So he wakes up and then notices his eyes are changing and they're like bloodshot because he's becoming
and pinworms that come out of his eyes.
Yeah.
They're literally shoving the stuff down our throat.
Can I just point out something real quick? So these engineers, they manufactured these vases of goo to go and kill humans. But this is the most ineffective virus or whatever I've ever seen, because not only does it not kill everyone successfully, they all have a vastly different reaction to the same thing. So for some people, it kills them. For some people, it brings them back from the dead as zombies. For other people, it literally creates early prehistoric life in the womb. I don't get it.
No, so see, this well, first of all, it creates Starro. But secondly, the what it did, because again, it tears up the DNA and then recombines or whatever. So you could kind of argue that they want variety as a result, because if you're hitting a planet and creating life, you don't.
That means you're terrible at annihilating a whole race. Then, as engineers.
No, they just reprogram it as different things. The good news is they annihilate whatever the fuck they're messing with. It's just the results are different after that.
Yeah, Vex, they have a plan.
Well, the more interesting thing is that they have a ship, and clearly this hold with all this stuff. They have essentially built landmines all throughout their own ship, and keep stepping on them and blowing up. And it's like, it gets a little warm. These things just start sweating the black goo in your ship. Why aren't these contained properly?
Right. Well, yeah, this is where they go
They're
back.
not very good engineers.
No, they're terrible.
No,
they're terrible. Yeah, they're
Wait,
gonna
go back.
Wow! Whoa!
Look,
wow!
we got space drop ceiling.
If they had just stuck the right people and the occasional squid.
That's so that way we can run their Ethernet cables better.
Yeah. Well, the ductwork, the AC, HVAC stuff's got to go somewhere.
HVAC got to run somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. It's so fucking stupid. And again, he's wearing the helmet. It's like, bro, we get it. You don't have to fucking wear the helmet. Yeah, there we go. Take it off, David. Take it off.
Take it off, baby. Take it all off.
Oh, Jesus. What else? I don't even know what I think I blacked out at this point, and then I woke back up when I heard screaming. So, this. Yeah,
and then you realized it was you.
It was me. I'm having a nightmare about this movie. This is where the ball stopped. Right, that glitched out apparently, and then
it's up. It ran into a door.
Oh, okay.
And it's just sitting there. Again, this thing has been floating here for like a day now.
Yeah,
how powering this thing?
Fucking ridiculous. Oh, there we go.
Energizer?
All the tubs.
Yeah.
Look, it's a whole room of fucking basically shit to kill Earth, right? This is the whole plan, is to get rid of Earth with this shit. Isn't that right?
Horribly organized.
Well, not really just Earth, because it's got a whole bunch of systems that are in the targeting
good point.
computer. But yeah,
They got it lining the walls. They got it making shapes on the ground. It's like this is a horrible storage system.
Yes,
Somebody-
kid,
it's basically like alien with
and all you
Lego-
need to do is just
Legos.
like get a little warmth
Yeah.
on it, and all of a sudden it's dripping fucking anthrax all over your ass.
Alien Legos. Oh my god.
Like I'm gonna stack them this way and that way.
Like we had like okay, I used not too far from where I live now. There was a place that used to store VX gas.
Yeah.
Like, this terrifies me. Yeah, if you've seen The Rock, you know what VX gas.
Yeah.
They stored that fairly close to where I used to live, and it's not far from where I live now. But yeah, it's like gosh, imagine they stored it like this. It's like holy crap, this everything. These are advanced beings.
Oh, dude, they're playing dominoes with it, man.
Oh yeah. You just walk in and like the guy just chewing a cigar at the desk just has it spilled all over the. I don't know. Let me just get this VX gas out of the way so I
his
can
morning
get my
coffee with it.
Yeah.
Hey, Chance, I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
Yeah, guys out there juggling with it. It's fine.
Oh my god.
What's your invoice number?
Look, it's like spilling over. Look, the shit's spilling over, and
This looks fine. This is fine.
This is where they find the fucking snake face fuck these people, and then all of a sudden he starts collapsing because he has a alien growing inside of him, and all this shit's happening at once. And I'm like, I don't even care. I want all.
Yeah, it
these
was like,
people
oh my
to die.
god, we better start getting the plot. Well, in as much as there is one, we better ramp it up. Let's.
I do want to point out that Velocipaster legitimately has like more religious depth than this movie.
Oh God, yes.
It's not
and
close.
character development and
That's a
plot
masterpiece.
and
It's an objectively better movie.
yes.
That's a masterpiece.
Where's Nadia?
Yeah, Nadia.
Nadia, you were curious about this movie. Velocipaster is a better movie than this.
Yeah.
Yep. This is all she does in the whole movie. Is just stand there like fucking with this stupid look on her face the entire movie. She does nothing in this movie.
She looks
I know.
angry or concerned
she's
or
completely
mildly
wasted.
horny.
Yeah, that too.
Well, she is somewhat aroused while she's busy burning down Charlie.
I mean, at least she doesn't look bad.
No, she looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's
true.
that's the one thing she has going for her, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she actually does ask the question like, why is he sick? What does he have? And,
Right. She's playing the Ripley character now with the wait, no, you don't get to bring this onto the ship.
Mm-hmm. Whitey, I wish I could have played your video with the fucking Beverly Hills Cop theme that he's playing on the keyboard. Dude,
See if you can play it after the stream.
Are you talking about like when Idris Elba is flying the ship into the? You're talking about
where he's
the
pushing
rubber,
the
the silicone eggs where you.
Whitey
you
made
follow
an
them.
edit where he's playing the Beverly Hills Cop theme on.
No, my
Can I
favorite
just,
is when Idris Elba is flying the ship into the alien ship, and it looks like he is standing there playing a Roland synthesizer because
Right?
like
It looks like
the
a giant
stand and
Casio.
everything is like shaky. It is great.
Can I just point out to you? So, like these guys have rooms of these jars, but they decide to put the control room right next to the most packed room of diseases.
That's what I said. They put landmines in their own ship.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, what happens if
don't-
that ship
I don't get
experiences a
it.
little turbulence? It's like,
Here
oh,
comes
And
the
I'm also trying to figure out why were there guards outside of this room, but then there's a pile of bodies elsewhere in the ship.
Now you're asking.
I'm sorry, you were trying to figure out the plot of this?
Yes.
I think I found your first problem.
Why was this movie made?
Yes. Why is just
And then
hanging over
well,
this
here-
entire movie?
Here's
More
the next
holograms.
question: why is it a flute that controls
Oh,
everything?
bro, I laughed out loud when he did that shit. I was like, why is he playing a fucking flute? What is he, the Pied Piper? It's like,
This is Willy Wonka shit.
Yeah.
it's like, what?
I think they were checking in on Earth and they were like, that Ocarina of Time is pretty dope. We should.
It's
Yeah.
pretty badass. That's so
Well, we've had the hurdy-gurdy. Now we need the flute. But the other thing is, these aren't so. Again, when we first saw them, in you think, oh, they're holograms, but then you see them blow Fassbender's hair around, right? This thing is actually touching the buttons. Isn't this a terrible idea for your replay to then reactivate machines? Because what is it if your replaying was actually the thing that fucked things up?
Right. Well, you're right. The logic again. You're bringing logic into a situation.
Yeah. I clearly brought the wrong tools to this.
Yeah, and then he could just grab shit out of the hologram. It's
God.
It's just so
You're
fucking
supposed to be
stupid.
distracted by the colors. It's,
Oh, I'm
look at the
sorry.
colors.
It's also
Pretty.
not- So like
Sorry,
they
Max.
they go through this whole sequence of them showing like, oh, okay, this is a map of space, and they're gonna find Earth, and then it ends with like the bulb or whatever lighting up because one of these guys are in cryosleep, just like how these humans were in cryosleep. And it's never really explained why they put themselves into cryosleep instead of just going and killing the humans as originally planned. Why would they need to sleep on their death ship?
Oh, I think so. God, I feel dirty trying to make this thing make some sense, but the argument you can make is that much like the humans, right? So these guys, they can't, just suddenly show up at Earth in 2 days or something, right? So they're still constrained by the same laws of physics. So they would cryo sleep for the people who are then going to, suck down the juice and take the nasty plunge into the waterfall or whatever, right? So those would be the ones that you put in cryo sleep. And the rest of the crew is there to essentially run the ship, get things going or whatever. But they fuck up. And stepped on the landmines that they themselves installed in their ship. And this one guy is the only one that survived because he was the one, coincidentally, he was the only one that was supposed to take this shit. And and he's the only one that didn't.
Okay, so hold on. Then that doesn't explain why is the same pattern followed then in all the other ships on this planet.
But we don't know what happens with the other ships.
Well, the assumption is that it's the same layout on all the other ships because there's multiple domes, right? So why would there be multiple ships of them doing that?
Well, because A, they have multiple targets, but B, like you were saying before, that it's not just one person shows up on planet and makes it go away. That they show up on different areas of the planet, right, and then infect it so that it can have this worldwide effect.
Okay. Then my next question is, why are these ships U-shaped, but the mothership looked like a standard UFO?
Because this is retarded. Well, okay, all right. Here. God, I'm gonna have to take a shower after this because I feel so fucking dirty trying to make this movie make sense. But if you show up with the big UFO thing, maybe that's when you create life. When you show up with the big horseshoe, that's the unlucky horseshoe, and we're here to destroy you. I also have a sneaking suspicion. I have a sneaking suspicion that as idiotic as this thing is, that the engineers are actually there's more than one faction. Some believe in creating in the life or whatever, and the others are trying to destroy it.
Well, I mean, that theory is completely discredited and coveted because there's only one race of them, and they all fucking die because of
No, I still agree that there's a single race. I think that there are factions within it. The good news is the Covenant's like, I don't care. Fuck all y'all. Y'all look alike to me. Die.
Yeah. This is where they're trying to convince Vickers to bring the guy on board, and she's like, "Nah, I ain't having it, dude. Stay back." With her flamethrower, and his face is ready to explode.
We're at an NyQuil.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. So they went to an alien planet with no fucking guns, but they brought flamethrowers.
No, they have the pew pew guns that they use later when reconfigured geologist shows up.
Yeah.
Well, they had guns. It's just like she was like, no,
we're not doing that because Alderaan is a peaceful planet.
This is a scientific expedition.
And they're trying to make you feel something for these people, and I'm like, okay, he's dead, so
it's like I don't care.
I'm like, please burn him. You should have burned him a long time ago. He's irritated me throughout this.
You should have been burning all of them in their sleep.
Yes.
Editing on that part with the transition between the scenes was so bad. I thought it was about to say TBS.
Well, the other thing is, can I just point out, you are in an external spacesuit. You would think that it has some sort of thermal protection from fire, but nah, she just hit you with a weed burner and you go off like a Roman candle.
Yep. This is where David was going to take her cross. And she's like, she waits. No, you can't.
Which, if there was an actual concern of contamination, they would have done that before they laid her down.
I know.
Yeah.
This is so fucking stupid.
No. See, he's a vampire. He has to remove it before he can actually.
Do you like my blonde highlights?
And then he scans her, right? He's like, I know this must be inappropriate, but did you and Mr. Holloway have any intimate contact? And he's just looking at this fucking thing growing in her womb while he says it. And then this is where the accent comes through.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't scan her first. He has that conversation first, then he scans her.
Well, no, then she's like, the accent comes through, right? She says, there's no bloody way. I'm 6 months
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yes. Suddenly accent.
is sneaking behind. Yeah. Oh,
a little bit odd, ain't it?
Oi, oi.
3 months so.
I think that's a weird line because, okay, I get what he's meaning by about 3 months so because he's talking about its size, but he can clearly see it's not an actual pregnancy. He even says that. And I'm like, it's a weird word choice. It's like, I would just say, you've got something. Why would you even describe it as a pregnancy? You'd be like, you got something weird growing in you, like a parasite.
Yeah,
why would you describe it as a pregnancy anyway?
I want it out of me.
Well, I guess this is kind of the development of the darker arc for David that carries through in Covenant. Maybe that's the whole point of it. But I maybe it's because it's in her uterus. I guess he just says that, oh, she's pregnant. It's like you just draw 2 and 2 kind of deal.
Wait. This is the part where you said like she finds out she's pregnant in like 5 seconds. She's like on the floor in pain.
Then she starts having pains. You're telling me this thing has been growing in your uterus at like an alarming rate for 10 hours, and only now when he mentions it, you feel pain?
Well, I mean,
that's when she felt the pain. Like 1 minute. That's all it like. As if in this 1 minute it grew another trimester.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
so she has been like sedated continuously, so she wouldn't have felt anything.
But like, do you know how big a uterus is before it goes through childbirth? It's smaller than your fist.
Yeah.
So for as big as it was in the scan, she should have been feeling that hours ago.
This would have been a good time for David to sing "Baby Shark" to her.
Baby Shark,
what's inside me?
Baby Shark.
By the way, when she escapes to go put that surgery on herself, why did nobody try to catch up to her?
Why is that door unlocked?
Yeah, it's like
how does she know the lock key to Charlize Theron's personal little escape craft?
Yeah, she just pushes through here and she goes. It takes her a little while to get there. It's like, well, nobody's coming after her.
Nobody's after. Yeah, we're just gonna let this happen. Yeah, she kicks the shit out of her.
She got hit in the head, and she's like, "Well, fuck it, I'm not paid for this, and I'm just gonna let her go."
Yeah,
this is where she has like, what is that metal container that she suddenly has?
Where did that come from,
dude? I
have to say though that in isolation, this scene is kind of interesting. If the whole movie was cool, I don't mind this scene, but everything leading up to it is so dumb that again it never pays off properly.
No, it's stupid. This is where she finds out that the machine's only meant to do surgeries on a man. Not
calibrated for a man.
Calibrated. So she has to like decalibrate.
But theoretically, could operate on a woman. It's just at the moment. Which it's funny how that's aged because they probably look at that now and be like, "What do you mean calibrated for a man? What's that supposed to mean?"
Well, she identifies, but all she had to do was change her pronouns, and then it would work fine. But the especially stupid thing about this is that she's like, okay, it's an abdominal wound, and there's been an intrusion or this, that, whatever. Except that where this surgeon thing is supposed to work is going to hit the one specific thing that makes women different from men: a uterus.
Maybe it used to, not in 2020.
Well, I mean, yeah. This is this is 2012, so it's a different time. You understand?
Sorry.
Yeah, uteruses were different in 2012.
Yeah. They were far more exclusive in their installation.
So take that, patriarchy.
Take that. Yes, Nadia. We are still going because there's so much bullshit. Well, we're getting there. You can see the thing poking through her stomach, so a little throwback to the alien thing, and it's just like...
I still will say that, I don't know, maybe in this whole movie, this is the only scene I kind of like that they like do the incision and they take it out. Like, there's something about it that I like. I don't know why.
I totally agree, bro. It is the best, probably the best part.
It's a neat effect, and were there any kind of sanity around it that would make it make sense? Or
I wish this would have been a nice climactic scene to a movie that actually was well written, but since everything is crap, it's just there.
Yeah.
It looks like a claw machine. It looks like
there's a little kid that's like, oh shit. I wanted the fire truck. I got Starro instead.
You gotta do an edit where somebody's operating one of those.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do it, Whitey. Okay.
Do it, Whitey. And also, I like the stapler that it staples her stomach afterwards.
Right. That looks like when she yanks the umbilical cord, that would fuck.
Oh yeah, because that's what you do.
I'm
It's
just
not
glad
a
she gets to
Uma.
experience like 50% of the
It's
pain
not a
that
Uma.
I experienced after eating Taco Bell. This is what it's like.
Also,
just realized-
can I just ask, what is this umbilical cord attached to if they removed her uterus?
No idea.
No idea.
Maybe they took her uterus out with.
No idea.
Then the umbilical cord would be attached to the uterus because that's where umbilical cord's attached to.
Hey, Vax, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry.
So the assumption is that it actually it left the uterus in. It just like gave her a cesarean section, except the wrong way. But it doesn't show it like, oh, here, let me just close up that uterus for you before stapling.
How does it know that there's a uterus though?
Right, because again, it's supposed to be made for a man, but again, pronouns.
Yeah.
But
But
the thing is that again, the uterus has to be still in her because the umbilical cord is still attached. And she yanks it out.
It looks like. Oh, by the way, we're getting looks like a bigoted army raid at the moment.
Oh, look at that! Yeah,
Welcome
Hypno.
in,
Happy
Raiders.
welcome in. Oh, we got a super chat. Oh, sorry, not super chat. A gifted membership. Sorry, from Nerd Wars. What's up, Nerd Wars?
Oh, look at
How you doing,
that,
sir.
Erwin
Good man.
doing his work.
You know what? Let me see. What can I give you, buddy?
Dude,
Oh,
don't
you
ruin
could give
his
him a
day.
lot of
Don't ruin
echo and a
Don't ruin it.
hallucination.
Yeah, it's gonna sound like ass because stream. I'm gonna give you my favorite one. Here you go, buddy.
Forget about it. 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 Forget about it.
You know, that one kind of works. Yeah.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
Yeah,
forget
it's like,
about it.
it's like
Forget about it.
What's his
Forget
face?
about it.
Tommy 2 times or whatever. Is...
Yeah, I'm gonna get the papers. Get the papers.
Get the papers. Oh yeah. Anyway, where were we in this fucking? Oh yeah. So she gets stapled, has abortion surgery, and then she can just run. This is good. This is
Oh
good.
yeah.
Keep telling you, it's
She's
not
got
abortion, it
she's got
lives.
drugs that she's pumping herself.
Oh,
with,
that's
so
right.
why
She's got the
she can
the.
run.
By the way, if
painkiller
anyone's
stuff,
ever
right.
played Bloodborne, that's basically the ending right there.
What up, Zax? I see everybody here. Thank you all for
Look at these.
joining the show. Appreciate you. Yeah. And then here's more crew members. We don't even know who the fuck they are. And,
This is the guy. These are guys that are supposed to be helping Yannick, like fucking pilot the ship, but they just disappear when plot points happen.
Look,
Maybe
Wong
Charlize-
has
maybe
to
Charlize
get
had
back
them all
to
at
help
once.
out with the magicians, because Doctor Strange is doing his stuff and Wong's got to deal with it. What are you going to do?
is it not? Is it
Okay.
not what you would call it? Is it not abortion?
Wong clearly is not helping out that much because look at how skinny this nigga is here and how fatty he is
Whoa.
in the Doctor.
Whoa.
Okay, come on.
He's definitely
Wong's
been
not
hitting
doing
it.
nothing.
Yeah, he was. Then he stopped because they blew up.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
Oh, here we go.
just the ship that blew up there at the.
This
the
is
end.
where the this is where the machine. Is this the new one? No. This is the.
This is a reconfigured geologist.
This is
This is
Prometheus.
Prometheus. Yeah.
This is so we're doing it because the new one's coming out, just to have the alien stuff going on, which I'm hoping I can go see soon.
Didn't they already think the guy was dead? Why didn't they learn anything? They're just going to open this thing, and this scene makes no sense to me.
It's so
None at
stupid. First of all,
all.
it's so fucking. Why would they just first of all leave him there, and then second of all, he does this weird.
Yeah, like I
spider-
initially thought this was Charlie because he died outside there and was burnt up. I
Right.
was like, okay, this guy looks
Right.
kind of burnt up. But I was like, oh no, this is the geologist guy. Okay, why
That we already knew was dead.
Folded up like that. All right,
yeah.
And he
That's
looks
weird.
like he's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so
but the
fucking-
thing is
zombie
that
at this point. You don't
yeah,
let him in.
then who deposits this, right? Because you come out and you go, okay, somebody folded, spindled, and mutilated this guy.
It's true.
But who
sweetie,
dropped him off on our doorstep? And then he's like, no,
Yeah.
I did. Ha, surprise.
Well, then this is the part. Like they have weapons, they don't use them when they want to, but then they're allowed to shoot them inside the fucking ship and just burn everything and try to kill. It's like this is so stupid. I was laughing.
I'm also
literally
I was
laughing.
a little confused too because like when the storm happens earlier, we can see that there are cameras on the outside of the ship. But then when the dude comes back from the dead, they have to open the ship to see what's outside.
Right?
So
Well, again, they weren't recording because obviously they didn't record the transmission, and nobody somebody forgot to hit record on the button.
And they drive over his fucking body with this big ass truck, and it doesn't splatter him everywhere. How is that possible?
Also,
I thought they were
aliens
worried
called out.
about. Yeah, I thought they were worried about contamination and shit though. So why are they running over dead bodies?
He can contaminate my tire tread.
Yeah, it's like Yeah, in the meantime, she's just like Gordon said, she's just roaming free through the whole fucking ship. Like,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
just
nobody's-
gave
Oh,
up.
by the way, in the next shot when she enters the room, her uterus wound completely healed.
Yep.
Oh no shit! You know
You
what?
look at it
mentioned
like when
that?
it's kind of showing from the side, it's like there's no wound. It's like, oh,
What is going?
okay.
Oh god! Oh my god! Why?
Look,
This is
those
where they
staples are really effective at
Yeah, this is where they
healing it.
figure out Wayland's alive with the shitty old people, that awful fucking makeup again, and then and David's got the great job and honor to clean his dirty old feet and nails with a fucking. Q-tip.
Well, you see, this is a religious callback. He's washing his feet
Stop it.
while he's in robes, and oh my god.
Yeah, Jesus
Right.
washed his disciples' feet. He didn't give them a full-blown manicure.
I can't get the testicle image out of my head now. Now that you've said it, he really does look like a
That,
testicle.
see, it's no, you can't. Yeah, no, it's stuck.
I
Yeah,
can't
look
unsee
at
it.
look at those pretty feet, blisters. And,
Oh, man.
Yeah, David, go to town, baby.
Tarantino,
Put 'em
how extreme are your tastes?
Somebody take a still of that and post it on Tarantino's Twitter and see what he does.
Would not?
Yeah. Hot or not? Hot or not?
Well, would or would not before or after the alien abortion?
Yeah.
Smash or pass before or after? That's the question.
Smash.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Get a
feet?
job on Nickelodeon, baby.
Hey guys, that guy looks. This is our 46th president right here.
There you go. Make a meme video about it, Gordon, right now. Yeah, so
Too
this is the whole.
coherent.
He gives up his whole plan here about how he's trying to find it, like live. He wants to live forever. He doesn't want to die. And then she's like, "We were so wrong." Yeah.
Who's this we, Kimosabe?
Yeah, I don't
Right,
know. Yeah.
you stupid bitch. You went into and saw some 35,000-year-old cave paintings and thought they were for you. What do you mean?
Oh my
You're
god,
wrong.
the world isn't all about me. We were so wrong. We?
Right?
Who the fuck is we?
Who the fuck is we?
Like,
Oh,
sweetheart, I hate
God.
to tell you, but nothing is a better proof of God in this movie than him saying, you know what? It really ain't about you.
Exactly.
Ain't about you,
yeah.
woman. Ain't about you, woman. Oh my god, she's like, yeah, you're right. I am a woman. I should know my place. Yeah, so she's like obviously upset about what the hell. Oh wait, what was this? I missed this part. Oh, well, she's washing her face, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she's washing herself. She's cleaning up. So this is the scene where in the
She
trailer
put on
if
a
you-
ring from Homeboy.
She actually
who-
prays. She prays in the trailer, and then in the deleted scene, she prays. They cut it from the movie.
I was
where she-
praying at this point too
Yeah.
for the end.
Yeah, no shit.
It does get a bit long at this point. I feel like at this point in the movie, you kind of think, okay, it's about to end, and then you're like, shit, there's
No,
another
no,
30
we have
minutes.
so much more. There's a half hour, and I'm like, this. You know when a movie's bad when you keep checking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the runtime. You're like, how much?
Yeah,
how
and
much
I'm like,
longer?
oh, yeah. I'm sitting there.
And in
with
reality, it's
Sassy.
not like a super long movie.
No,
No,
it's like 2
but
hours.
it feels like it.
It
feels
feels
long.
very
It
long.
ended.
Yeah,
It
it's
ended in
short.
2
It's
hours.
shorter than Aliens.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Sassy looks. She goes, "Why did that feel like it was 4.5 hours? Because it sucks. It's like that." So imagine what Rebel Moon must feel like the director's cut.
Yeah, this was the when
Part of
she's
the
doing the
reason-
prayer thing. I was praying.
Yeah.
It was like, and then at the end, I had lost all faith because I had gone pure nihilist, God is shit. Because if he didn't answer my prayers over this, there is no God.
What were you
The
saying?
first
Price?
30 minutes of the movie is just one big exposition dump, and then it starts basically, and its pacing is very slow.
Yeah.
And by the time you reach this point, I think it feels a
checked out.
lot more than 90
I
minutes.
want it to end. I want it to just, and then he makes the assumption, Idris Elba's character, like how basically, well, what is he basically? I fucking.
Oh
totally
God,
forgot
this logical fucking leap.
It's a
What does he
biological
say?
warfare lab
it's
for the engineers.
Yeah, it's it. That's it. That's
And
it.
it's like,
so
how do
fucking
you know any of this? You haven't even been inside. Nobody knows anything about what the fuck this
Oh,
black
he did
goo
go.
is.
Right.
He did go inside when and that was when Charlie got sick and they had to drag him back.
Oh
So
yeah,
he
yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah. Because he goes in, yeah. But
Yeah.
he just finds homeboy who got love strangled by the snake that he decided was his friend, and then the other one who fell face first in acid goo, and then he hasn't seen the containers of death.
Right. Right.
What
I think
the fuck
I
is he
do a
talking
better
about?
Southern accent than Idris Elba.
You do accents well, Price. We know.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
really, but I did this one better than him. For some reason, he doesn't convince me.
I mean, yours has been more consistent throughout this stream than his has been in the movie.
This is the craziest part of the movie where you find out that I can't fucking say her first name.
Charlize.
Charlize.
Listen, wait. You can't talk to me about pronunciating words.
Yes,
Commodus. Commodus.
No, God, what was the normal word that she screwed up when reading like the trivia or whatever? We all lost it in the chat.
Skedaddle.
Yeah, skedaddle.
I love it so much. Oh God, it's so good.
Skedaddle. We've kind of come full circle because it was Charlize on her way to the Skedaddle.
Yes, the Skedaddle. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, then like you don't understand what the hell's happening here yet, and then she's like, oh yeah, okay, Dad, and then she does this weird thing where she tries to kiss his hand or lick it or whatever the fuck she was doing.
That's kind of weird. Every time I see her, it looks like she wants to bang the person she's talking to.
Yeah,
and I don't know why. Whether it's like David the android or her father, she has like this weird look.
I can answer this for you. At this point in Charlize Theron's real life, she dumped the only man that ever loved her and wanted to marry her, and she was on this crazy like dick hunting spree. And all of the promo she did for this movie, I remember this very vividly. Almost every interview, she brought up how she either wanted to fuck Michael Fassbender or liked his dick.
Yeah,
it was in almost every. So she's just dick thirsty at this point in her life.
The thirst was strong.
It's too bad that I didn't run into her during this time.
But
it didn't really.
Not that it would have helped me anything, but
near the end of the movie, the only time that old Biff gets head here is from his own son that isn't real. And his head bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing about the hand is that she's this is her father, who is very clearly he always wanted a son, and so she's hoping to have some sort of touch on her face or on her head, right? Because she kind of does this childlike pose or whatever, and he just makes a fist, and he's like, "Nah, fuck this shit."
It's also funny that when her line where she calls him Dad, like the music drops like all ominously, like that's some big reveal, and I'm like, Ridley, nobody cares. Like nobody cares. This is not a reveal that means anything. Nope. It's a little obvious during the little meet and greet anyway. The way she looks when he says, the whole thing about that's the closest thing I'll have to a son. She looks sad about that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's his daughter. It's kind of obvious. Yeah. It's not a big reveal.
Well, is this where Wayland's? Yeah, he says that the air smells fine to him, but he's almost dead anyway. He's 180 years old. So what the fuck?
He only has like a couple of days of life left.
Yeah. So. And this is where they find the bridge with the alien that's been in hypersleep or whatever. And it's like, oh my God! And again, I every 5 minutes I'm checking the counter. Oh my God, there's 25 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, really? How's it?
End this fucking movie.
Oh, here we go. Zoom and
the ship. There you go. Okay. There you go, Gord. The ship.
looks like a sex toy. It's like you grab one end of that and like
it's a double entry one. Yeah, you got the handle in the middle there, and then yep.
Oh God!
Like
but the whole thing with Guy Pearce's character is so underdeveloped. It's just like, oh, okay, he wants to live. All right, well, who cares? It's like none of that has mattered at all during this movie.
I know,
it's just
but the last 20 minutes, we're gonna make this a whole.
It's so unnecessary. If you wanted to make this like deep and thoughtful, as far as like give it religious themes and whatnot, focus on David, focus on Shaw, and you have kind of this duality of a woman trying to learn about her creators and this android who's fascinated by creation, and just really focus on those two things, and you've got something there. You've got something. You've got the cast, you've got the effects. No, we've got all this bull crap that's just spattered throughout.
It makes no sense.
And make them bone as well. There you
go. Gordon, I think you're missing the third leg of that stool. Do not hire Damon Lindelof as your writer.
Yeah, so she asked, why are they going to Earth? And he's like, well, probably to fucking destroy. It's just like, oh God.
Well, it's just logical leap after logical leap. Again, Idris Elba suddenly figures out this is a weapons manufacturing station, is weapons of mass destruction. Never mind that all he's done is stop out at the 7-Eleven nearby and came to that conclusion. And then, here we go with they wanted to kill us. What?
I do like to think they developed this weapon after they watched the whole George Floyd thing. They'd be like, okay.
It could have been, yeah.
We gotta.
Oh
we
my
gotta
God,
go
they
out
killed
here.
the saint. We must destroy them.
What's
now.
this Chaz chop bullcrap? All
What
right,
is this?
let's get ready, guys.
Yeah, this is where they wake up the fucking alien now. The thing is, so in the deleted version, they actually have dialogue. The engineer has dialogue with Wayland. They just cut it out. It was a pretty long.
I'm glad
dialogue,
they
if I'm
didn't
not
put it in. It actually like there is some mystery that is kind of nice about them, even if it's dumb. But yeah, the dialogue made it worse.
I like the fact that at least it has the recognition that when Fassbender, when David is talking to him, that he's like, oh, I understand what you're saying. Apparently, he's not happy about it.
Even the engineer is pissed off. He has a bigger dick than him. Why is yours so big? And he's not. But yeah, like there's a whole fight going on between Wayland's trying to ask questions, and then the science chick is like trying, and then the fight. It's chaotic. And
it's everybody. Just she's like, oh my God, and why didn't you do this? Because again, it's got to be all about her.
Why did
she's
you
a
try
woman.
to kill us?
Yeah.
Well, and if she knows that they mean to destroy them, it's like, why is she even there? She's like, this thing's gonna wake up and kill us.
Right?
No, I don't
way
think you
this thing
understand.
isn't gonna
See,
wake up and kill us.
she has a vagina. She knows that just the power of her vagina will be able to convince all of them that all is well. Let's make peace.
Well, she just ripped out her vagina. So I don't know
no. I mean, the good news is she can't get pregnant again, so it's fine.
So this guy's whole plot
but it's kind of weird that she just had this removed from her vagina, and now she's asking him all these questions.
Vagina.
I mean, is she really surprised at this point? Why is she? She's like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You really think he's going to explain anything? You just had a weird thing in your vagina.
Yeah, right. And Guy Pearce.
Don't you know who she is?
Yeah,
I love like my dating life, man.
Guy Pearce is in the movie for 30 seconds just to get killed. It's just so fun. You're right, Gordon.
He was the lucky one.
Yeah, it was so stupid. Like they're trying to make you feel bad for this old guy when it's like, who is he? Like we know he's rich and all this shit, but nobody gives a shit.
He was in here for 2 scenes. We don't care about him.
Yeah, it's like I don't fucking care.
I wish I was only here for 2 scenes.
Yeah, we got more.
Like you could honestly, the promotional poster for this movie should have been that still of David's head, and it just says, "Leave this at the door."
The Deadpool and Wolverine crowd should love this movie. Though.
Oh yes,
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fun though. But it's fun.
Just turn your brain off, guys, and it's a good movie. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I think the director
That's
and
still
the
a more enjoyable movie than this. Whatever you may think of Deadpool versus Wolverine,
Colonoscopy is more enjoyable than this.
Yeah, this is
when Price has to look at the self-abortion scene to find any entertainment.
It's like, you know,
we got a winner.
You know that jerking out your own uterus. That sounded pretty good right now.
It looks good.
I mean, at least it was a development of sorts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Like the pacing picked up. There was a little bit of suspense for a second, and that's the only scene that I felt it in the whole movie.
Yeah, this is where the dick ship thing here is trying to point to Earth.
God, this pisses me off so much.
Yeah, and then it goes, and then she just runs out, and she's like, "Oh, the ship's." She's just jumping from ledge to ledge while she doesn't have the wounds anymore, like Beck said. They're gone.
She's had a hysterectomy though, at the very least.
No. Yeah, the great thing is she jumps and hits midsection on one of the edges, and still just pulls herself up like, nah, bro, it's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're not stopping anything. She's like, we're getting the fuck out of here, and you have to stop it because it's gonna destroy. It's just so fucking stupid.
It's carrying death. It's like, can you be a little bit more specific? It's carrying death.
Most people would just say, "Fuck it, let it go back," let's try to get like they would just bullshit her. They tell her, you know what, you're right. Let's just get on the ship now and leave, and we'll deal with that tomorrow.
I mean, to be fair, that would be safe because she hasn't been right about a goddamn thing this entire movie.
No.
Why would anybody believe her now?
And it would take time for that alien spaceship to reach Earth. I mean, it's not going to get there in 1 second, I think. You know, they can just kind of regroup and decide what they want to do. Maybe they can call for backup or something.
Well, he tells her basically, go back into your your ship that has 2 years worth of life and just get the fuck away from me, and you'll survive. And she does, but nothing really fucking matters.
I mean, she only survives for another 20 seconds, but sure.
Yeah, that's a whole nother part. We'll get
That's
into
because she's stupid. But also, I love the offer to this. What the fuck is this? Again, the absolutely unearned responses from these characters. Like, hey, you guys, you can join Ms. Biggers if you want to.
Scary.
No, the captain needs it. It was like, what the fuck? You guys haven't been on the bridge, but maybe one time previously.
There were people
they
dying.
like
They just like they weren't even here.
Yeah, there's a passing comment early in the movie about a bet, and then they bring it up like it's some big
I didn't even
set up a payoff, man.
I forgot about the bet. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like what?
I couldn't remember either.
Sadly I did.
I didn't care.
But it didn't matter
I
because
only
who cares?
because by the fourth watch, I was like, oh, okay, they referenced that.
Well, you can trust the Asian guy who's in the future still using chopsticks. You're good.
Yeah, there's where the.
Why didn't he just use his sling ring and get the fuck out of here?
Because he's too fat now. That's why.
Oh yeah. There we go.
But
There's the ship blowing up.
I still maintain his best role ever was on IT Crowd. That is his best role ever.
Oh yeah,
he's amazing
100%.
in that one episode. It's the best role he's ever had.
It was so funny. Yeah. This is where the ship lands, and so, like the ship, they're
also this fucked up shit. So again, the script forgets what's on like the previous paragraph. So they talk about we need to fire up the ion engines in the atmosphere, and they're like, wait, what? No. That will cause bad juju to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what doesn't happen? Any fucking bad juju about firing up those engines. The only thing that they do is speed up enough to crash into the big one.
Yeah.
It's just ramming speed, let's go. Except that they talk about how, like, firing up these engines are going to cause the atmosphere to blow the fuck up or something like that, right? None of that happens, even though they just said it before they then hit this thing. And then we get the giant donut of stupidity.
Yeah,
nobody runs to the left or right.
Yeah, no. All I'm doing is screaming. Run to the side. You
Yes, a right angle. Look how narrow this thing is.
College.
Run 30 feet to the left, and you are safe, you dumb cows.
Right.
You know what's really funny is that people try to justify this scene after the fact, being just and even in the trivia, because this came up a lot when I was looking at trivia, like, even though this was a complaint and this happened for like 20 fucking scenes. So the way they justify this is that, in a state of shock, of course you wouldn't run side to side and think logically. And all that leads back to, though, is that, again, when you train to go into space, you're mentally prepared for like irregular and odd situations, so that you have a response system that kicks in.
If you are in a state of shock such that you cannot avoid the giant rolling donut, you don't run. You just get squashed.
Right.
And it's particularly that it's her, because she's the one who's supposed to be the one who doesn't panic. She's the one who was ballsy enough to make the one decent decision in the movie and torch that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, she should be the one who has the most, like, cognitive ability to know. It's like, you know what, I should maybe go sideways.
Nah.
I could maybe go sideways.
Nah, I'm going to run along with the giant rolling donut.
What's the cherry on top is, like, this is the woman that this whole company spent $1 trillion on.
Yes.
And she can't even run sideways.
I would ask the people who justify it this way. If you're in the middle of if you fall down the middle of the street and then all of a sudden you hear a car coming, you're telling me you're running straight on the street? You're not like,
I just try to outrun the car. I'm fine.
Like, no, sorry, I think in a panic state, I am going to go sideways. Thank you.
Austin Powers and that steamroller slowly coming towards that guard, no, stop, no, stop.
Oh, yeah,
save energy.
Yeah, she goes into the life pod, and then this is where David tells her, right, that he's coming for you, so you need to run coming at him.
How does he know that? How does he know that?
I don't know. Well, there was a whole fight scene. Again, they took out of the whole movie between her and the engineer. It was like a longer fight scene, and they just removed it.
It's because it would be stupid. He just would snap her like a twig.
Right. He pulled the android's head off, no problem.
He just popped him like a...
She's got an axe, though, guys. Come on. Duh. Yeah, you need to get out immediately. It's like, so he left. I'm assuming because the the engineer left. But how does he know where he's going if he's fucking heads just floating on the ground? I don't understand this. I don't know.
We know where David's Wi-Fi is in his head.
So the whole theory behind this too is like the creature attacks the engineer because it's protecting the woman who gave birth to it.
Oh, okay. First of all,
it kind of looks like he has like a Victorian collar on.
It does.
Yeah.
If you would have remembered his wig. But the other thing is, okay, so here comes just like a machine gun of stupid in this fucking movie. What the fuck did that thing eat to suddenly become like 5 times the mass of the engineer?
It had the umbilical cord, man. That's why.
That she ripped out. Yeah. It just ate that. It ate about 10 grams worth of food, and just it's probably mostly water weight.
It grew so fast from the second he was in the uterus until this rapid growth. I think.
Right, from what? It's gaining mass from something. Either that or it's like an aerogel, in which case you could just blow on it and it would blow back into the.
It's glandular.
Yeah. The other thing is we have Starro.
It's eating plot holes.
Yeah, well, in that case, it should be much, much larger
That's a fat
than
bitch.
it actually is. Yeah.
This, by the way, the inner part of that mouth is the worst CGI in the movie. It actually has not
God.
aged well. It's
No.
aged,
Oh, no, it looks terrible.
And this design, pretty try hard, I think.
Yes.
It's like we're really trying to make this overly creepy. It's like
Yeah, we're gonna have like
105
105 mouths all at the same time. Okay.
So while he's mouth fucking the engineer,
Well, and then it like it came and very clearly was spent because all it does is relax on him after it rams into his mouth.
If it pulled out a cigarette, I wouldn't blame it.
Oh yeah, it's understandable.
Dr. Shaw, can anybody hear me? Yeah. And he's alive, obviously, because he's a robot. So I know we had our differences, but can you please could you please help me get out of this place?
You know, I
I
tried to get you to raise an alien in your belly, and let's let bygones be bygones, shall we?
Yeah, let's go ahead and help each other out. Well, I guess in the original script they made her much more of a bigger asshole to David in this ending, where she was just like, "Fuck you, I hope you die, but I still need you." Like the dialogue was much more harsh, but they changed it to make her more sympathetic. I was like, "There's nothing sympathetic. I don't
There's
care
nothing.
about
Yeah,
these people."
that ship has sailed, so at least
I
make
don't
her
care.
like sane, where she actually hates this guy.
Yeah.
But also, now here again, the machine gun of stupidity shoots again. You'll recall that this ship flew up, was then hit by another ship, fell down, rolled like a giant fucking donut, and then flopped down. Yet David and his body are in the same fucking place they were when the engineer disconnected him.
Well, you're thinking logically again. You're trying to you turn your brain off. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah. I see color. Her.
Oh gosh, I wish he had been talking to her while his head was rolling around. That'd be great.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I can get you out of here. Let's go. Let's go find. Then she's like, I want to find them, and I want to fucking ask them why they're trying to kill us.
But she just tried to ask them, and then they killed that guy. Why would she want to find them again to ask them the same question?
To a planet of them can accomplish.
Yeah. Well, she has all the black goo. Remember, guys. So, just saying.
Also, I think what happened was there was a man talking to him, and so that's what got the engineer mad. If the engineer would have talked to her, then the vagina powers would have came out. So she
even then she was trying to talk to it, even when the man was talking to.
Yeah, but the engineer couldn't hear her at that time, so her vagina powers couldn't be at full power to convince him. Yeah.
Here we get the fucking alien ripping out of his body at full size, and then the whole. Oh, look! It looks like the Thing from that other movie. Did they even show it here? Yeah. This is
it's like, well, he does like the light flashy thing to like hide the reveal, as though that makes it better. It looks
no, it doesn't. It makes it look stupid. Also,
so what's her plan? She wants to go to every planet like this one and go through this same experience again.
Yeah, she'll finally find the manager. She will find the manager, I assure you.
The design looks more like the sandworm from Beetlejuice. That's the funny thing.
Yes,
way more like the sandworm.
Well, there you go. We made it through it, guys. We finally.
Well, but also, what the fuck happened to the idea of the chest bursters, where they're in this smaller proto state, and then have to go and feed to then evolve into that? Why are we just suddenly having full grown aliens popping out of things?
I don't listen. You're
Ridley forgot his movie again.
I think I'm honestly. Sorry. Go ahead and read this first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think the addition of that alien creature at the end was a last minute thing, because Ridley has said in the interviews he didn't want this to be an alien film, and he thought people were kind of done with the Xenomorph, that people didn't want to see it anymore. So I think maybe after some reactions and whatnot, that was just kind of hastily thrown in to show that, oh, this is actually connected to that broader universe.
Interesting.
Oh, that fixed it.
Yeah,
that fixed it basically.
Yeah.
Hostman, because of your beautiful one. Let's see. Whitey, read that for me in your best Southern accent.
So
just be normal.
Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. When she's a little too good at that hot tour.
Hot tour. All right, now I gotta give it to you. So there you go.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Say what?
All right. Okay. Before I off myself, I guess we have trivia to go through, and then
I got a lot of trivia to go.
No, I'm interested in the trivia. Probably better than the goddamn movie.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this movie had a budget of $130 million, and worldwide it took home just over $403 million. So I think this was technically a flop.
Good.
Yeah. Good.
It should have brought home $4.
Scratching my back. Fucking Christ. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought you had an itch. I was just trying to help.
So this came out on June 8th, 2012. It debuted at number 1 domestically. It came out the same day as Madagascar 3. Now it dropped to number 2 the following week, and Madagascar 3 took over number 1.
Nice.
Let's be clear. It was number 2 from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right. For the alien planet, creatures, and technology, director Ridley Scott instructed the design team to aim for a look that could logically come before the original Alien, and thus not rely too heavily on H.R. Geiger's famous original planet and Xenomorph designs. However, almost all of the team's drawings eventually contained subconscious Geiger-esque embellishments, and while also drawing inspiration from several unused Geiger designs from the 1979 Alien. In the end, it was decided to invite Geiger himself to come over, who approved of the use of his old ideas and gave additional input to on reverse engineering his original designs for the new film. Geiger died of fall-related injuries in 2014, making this the last movie related to the Alien franchise that he worked on.
Wow. That's interesting.
I don't understand what's logical about the alien looking like that 30 years prior. Things don't have, it's like that doesn't make sense on an evolutionary level at all.
Shh, it's okay.
I mean, the technology for the humans devolved.
Yeah.
So true.
Ridley Scott suggested that an engineer was sent to Earth to stop humanity's increasing aggression, but was crucified, the implication being that it was Jesus Christ. He felt that this would be too obvious a religious allegory for the film, however.
By obvious, he meant retarded.
Yes.
Yeah. Very true.
Ridley Scott named the film Prometheus, seeing the name aptly fit the film's themes. It's the story of creation, the gods, and the man who stood against them. In Greek mythology, the Titan Prometheus was an immortal servant of the gods who stole and gave to mankind the gift of god fire, an immeasurable benefit that changed the human race forever. It made mankind dangerous to the gods.
Yay.
Okay, all right.
That was cool.
I know the story Prometheus and has fuck all to do with this movie.
During production, Ridley Scott kept the use of CGI imagery as low as possible. Scott recalled advice visual effects supervisor Douglas Trumbull gave him on the set of Blade Runner back in '82. If you can do it live, do it live. And also that the practical visual effects were more cost-effective than digital visual effects. So monster effects like the Deacon and the Hammerpede, which is the thing at the very end, were done practically as much as possible, with CGI only for complicated shots that couldn't be done for real. The giant trilobite facehugger was a full-size model and used in a few shots, and served as a reference for the computer-generated version that was used in other shots. All in all, Weta Digital and Moving Picture Company provided 1,300 CG shots for the movie, mainly for digital landscapes and space scenes.
Wow.
Yeah. So that giant trilobite at the end is real. They made a
Yeah.
life-size model.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really just the tentacles near the mouth that look bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where
that's
the effects come in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ridley Scott decided against featuring the original Xenomorph in the film as the sequel squeezed him dry. He did very well, and in no way I'm going back there. Instead, this being an indirect prequel to Alien, he decided to feature a Xenomorph ancestor/parent. However, criticism from fans who complained about the absence of the famous creature after the film's release made Scott change his mind, and he included the creature in the sequel Alien Covenant.
Oh God,
Ah.
I forgot everything about Alien Covenant, so I have to rewatch it. Maybe.
I don't know who said it here that it when I watched this one, it was kind of lumped together with Covenant as one movie in my mind.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's just all one smear of shit.
Rough
crap.
According to Ridley Scott, the film's plot was inspired by Eric von Daniken's writings about the ancient astronauts. Quote, both NASA and the Vatican agree that it is almost mathematically impossible that we can be where we are today without there being a little help along the way. That's what we're looking at. We are talking about gods and engineers of space. Were the aliens designed as a form of biological warfare or biology that would go in and clean up a planet? End quote.
Chariots of the Fire, man. Chariots of the Fire. They practically own South America.
Mm-hmm.
And it's thought the ink is everything they know.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Ridley, stop smoking weed. Stop it. Just stop it now.
For the scene where Vickers sets an infected Holloway on fire, Charlize Theron wielded a real flamethrower emitting real fire. She was excited to perform the scene when reading the script, but began to have second thoughts upon realizing she'd actually be setting a stuntman on fire. She ultimately agreed to perform the stunt, but the shot of her appearing shocked while setting him on fire was her real reaction, and it was kept in the film for that reason.
Interesting.
It was the one time she was able to act.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I was shocked that just a couple of hits with a weed burner was enough to turn him into a giant pyre. What the hell?
Charcoal.
The array that you see like in the ship with David was one of the most complex visual effects of the film, containing 80 to 100 million polygons and taking several weeks to render as a single complete shot.
Jesus.
Which shot is this?
The Ori, the
map.
Yeah, with all the stars and the planets and all that stuff.
That took that long. I didn't even notice it.
Well, there is a lot of shit going on with that thing, and then you got playing basketball with Earth, and you know.
In 2002, James Cameron discussed ideas for a fifth Alien film with Ridley Scott, with the intention that Cameron would produce the film with Scott directing and Sigourney Weaver returning to star as Ripley. However, upon discovering that 20th Century Fox was developing a crossover film, Alien vs. Predator, Cameron ceased all work on the project, believing that a crossover would, quote, kill the validity of the franchise, end quote. Though Cameron went on to state that he would never work with the Alien franchise again, Scott eventually ended up reworking their idea into this film. What could have been?
Yep.
Could have been. On May 7, 2012, Guillermo del Toro declared that his long-proposed adaptation for At the Mountains of Madness was indefinitely delayed, as he felt Ridley Scott's Prometheus was extremely similar to the approach he penned for the H.P. Lovecraft novella, even to the point of having scenes that would almost be identical. Both movies seem to share identical set pieces and the exact same big revelation at the end.
What the hell?
Wow.
Yeah.
How in the hell do you get in the mouth of madness from this hook of shit?
Who knows, bro? Who knows?
I can't.
Oh, I thought this movie made my head hurt. That shit. Oh my god.
This film was originally intended to be a true prequel to Alien 1979, and the first draft of the original script, which was titled Alien Engineers, included far more elements from the Alien franchise. For instance, it would have taken place on LV-426, the original planetoid from Alien, which contained a mysterious pyramid. It has canisters which contain earlier forms of facehuggers, and one of them impregnates Holloway, which was the Logan Marshall-Green's character. Unaware of what happened, he returns to Prometheus, and a tentacled chest burster breaks from him while he is making love with Shaw, slowly pulling itself out of his chest. David is a much more malicious character in this draft, hating his human makers to the point where he even plans to help the engineers kill them all. Shaw tries to stop him, but David ties her down and releases a facehugger upon her, impregnating her with an alien as well. This creature is surgically removed before it can burst through her chest, but it is ejected from the medical device, and while Shaw recovers over several hours, the creature grows and starts killing people. Shaw was to finally battle with the Ultramorph, the Xenomorph that emerged from the dead engineer, and the movie was to end on a more ambiguous note, with Shaw and the remains of David being stranded on the planet. The mutagenic black compound, which turns Fifield into a raging monster, as well as David's demise, were all part of the original script. According to that writer, Fox Studio executives requested that the recognizable elements were toned down in order to make the film more standalone and have its mythology. So major rewrites were done by Damon Lindelof.
Yay! What a smart idea that was.
The film was originally, so straight up prequel, so more script stuff, via script written by John Spates, who is in high demand due to his previous script being on the unofficial Hollywood blacklist of best unproduced screenplays. Spats had actually been discussing other projects with Scott Free, which is Ridley Scott's production company, when they asked him to write an Alien sequel. He immediately felt that it had to be about a so-called space jockey, the giant dead creature in the chair found in Alien, and how its race was evolved in the history and evolution of both humans and xenomorphs. Spade's first drafts, the studio insisted on a more experienced writer to rein in many of the parts that made it an unidentifiable alien film, and to focus more on the engineers. Scott then contacted David Lindelof for advice on the script and to make it a more original film.
Famous last words.
Yeah. Good work, Ridley. Good work.
Contact David Lindelof for ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Oh my gosh.
Loser.
It's like copying your homework off of a retarded kid.
Yeah. Hey, Corky, can I go ahead and just copy your homework?
I have to say that during those years, J.J. Abrams and Damon Lindelof were like Bonnie and Clyde of Hollywood.
Destroying Hollywood.
They were able to do so many heists, and really all these studios believed that they were great.
Yeah.
Well, JJ had the I have Spielberg as basically my
they were two slippery snake oil salesmen.
Yep.
Yeah,
kind of like Hamburglar, like the Hamburglar of Hollywood.
More like the Turdburglar.
Yep.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I always think of J.J. Abrams as the Hamburglar of Hollywood. If you look at the Hamburglar, he kind of looks like J.J. Abrams.
Can I ask who the mayor? Who is the Mayor McCheese of Hollywood?
Oh God.
I don't know.
I think it was Harvey Weinstein for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's George Clooney.
I'm pretty sure Guillermo del Toro is the Grimace of Hollywood, just based on shape.
That's funny.
This movie made me grimace.
Yes.
More than once.
Early drafts of the script had different introductory scenes. In one, the mission is set off after alien hieroglyphs are found on Earth in an underwater dig. In another, they are found on an excavation site on Mars where Peter Weyland has created a large terraforming colony. Other scenes showed his office on Earth in Amsterdam, as well as his large wheel-like biosphere in space with buildings in it. Though concept art of these ideas were completed, all these scenes were never filmed for budget and pacing reasons and replaced with Sean Holloway's introduction on the Isle of Skye. The only remnant of Weyland's terraforming colony on Mars can be seen in the background of his hologram message aboard the Prometheus.
See, that's the thing, that he was supposed to be young.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense. According to Ridley Scott, the decision to film this in 3D added $10 million to the film's budget.
Money well spent.
Well spent.
Ridley Scott made Prometheus to create his own backstory to Alien and thereby decanonize the events of Alien versus Predator and by extension Alien versus Predator Requiem, which he thoroughly disliked. Fans have since speculated that he may have actually reimagined Alien versus Predator and molded it into his preferred vision due to the notable similarities between the two movies. Both feature a secret expedition into unknown territory based on archaeological clues from several of Earth's early civilizations. Both expeditions find evidence of an advanced alien culture that has been instrumental in early human development. They also encounter a second alien species that is hostile to both humans and the advanced aliens and changes the expedition into a fight for survival. In both movies, a sickly company CEO called Wayland comes along to ensure his company's legacy, but meets his demise at the hands of one of the advanced aliens. And also in both films, the expedition is led by a female protagonist who has lost her father and desperately pleads to her fellow crew members to stop the alien creatures from reaching Earth. However, in the end, she has to fend for herself against a giant alien creature.
God, so they really did. They were like, okay, so let's take a very dumb thing, and can we get Lindelof to make this much dumber so that we can go ahead and film that? Because AVP was pretty crap from the story wise, and then they were like, no, let's make it worse, and they did.
Were they both called Wayland?
And they are both called Wayland. Yep.
Yeah,
that is really weird that they're both called Wayland.
More things from John Spate's original script. So Peter Wayland only appears in the beginning and he doesn't come along. His obsession is not with eternal life, but with a desire to retrieve the engineer's profitable terraforming technology. Milburn is killed by a hammerpede, which later jumps from his body and kills another crew member with its acidic spit. Yannick and the others kill it with axes. Fifield is infected by the black liquid from the ampules and transforms into a xenomorph-like creature. Shaw, who runs over, and it's Shaw that runs over him with a vehicle. A mortally wounded Janek teaches Shaw how to operate the Prometheus so she can fly it into the engineer's ship. After setting it on a ramming course, she ejects in the escape pods together with Vickers. The Ultramorph / Deacon, which comes out of the engineer, originally had a much larger part. After the ship crashes, it emerges from the wreckage and chases Shaw into Vickers' suite where she kills it. Stuck on the planet, Shaw explores different areas of the planet and finds other underground corridors and chambers. The movie would have ended with Shaw discovering a frozen underground lake with a terraforming chamber and a large garden underneath it.
That sounds much better.
Yeah, that's probably better.
I mean, Wayland at least has a sane motivation.
Yeah.
It just sounds like all these original versions had way more horror elements to it, as opposed to being like this trying to be deep sci-fi film.
Yeah, but again, it's that I've smoked way too much weed being deep. You know, what if CAG really spelled dog?
I smoked this strand called Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus.
Great
title. The black goo, man. Anyway.
I do have some casting trivia, though.
Oh, my favorite part. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, Christopher Walken does not show up in any of them.
How can this be?
Why do the... It's... Vex,
no wonder. I mean, it was destined for failure then if they never even thought about Christopher Walken.
Sorry, Vex.
Wow.
No, you're good. One other actor was considered for the role of Holloway, the love interest asshole. It was actually James Franco, but he was busy, so they put him as Captain Branson in the sequel.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
It's definitely a step sideways.
Yeah.
Two other actresses were originally considered for the role of Meredith Vickers as well. The first being Michelle Yeoh.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It'd be weird, like for David to be like kind of her.
How would she have been the daughter of Guy Pearce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Well, instead of Wayland, it'd be Utani.
Utani, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Angelina Jolie was the other consideration.
Oh God. We'd love for that.
I mean, I could see that.
I think she probably would have been okay at that.
Yeah. Okay. And then so Charlize Theron was the original choice for Elizabeth Shaw, but there were several other actresses that were considered. All right. Gemma Arterton.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, I kind of could see her in the. I mean, she's I'm trying to think. Okay, I mean, I know I don't know how to tell you who she is with like an actual movie that she would be known for because she's usually a side character. Like
Right.
she's in like Quantum of
Girl.
Solace. She's
Yeah.
the redheaded girl in Quantum of Solace. She's in that. What is that Hansel and Gretel action movie?
Gretel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in
Jeremy Renner,
John
right?
Carter. She's the Princess of Mars in John Carter.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen that, so but yeah.
Underrated film. It has problems, but it's pretty.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's
Yeah.
not bad.
All right. Carrie Mulligan.
I could see that. I could see.
Wait,
Carrie
wait, wait.
Mulligan.
I gotta
She's a
look
pretty
this
good actress. So
Harry-
I'm curious, would she be too young at the time though? I'm
I
trying
think
to
she
remember how old
looks
she is.
young. She looks
Yeah.
young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's next?
Olivia Wilde.
No, she can't
Oh,
act.
fuck off. No, she's terrible.
Okay. Anne Hathaway.
Oh God,
Lord,
enough of her
no.
fucking space
Oh,
movie.
God.
She already ruined
not
it.
unless not if she's not going to play a character who dies. No thanks.
She almost ruined Interstellar. No.
Okay. Abby Cornish.
I know the
that
name. I just can't think of who she
I
is.
know, if I'm gonna look her up, I'm
Blonde
gonna be like,
I think she was in
Australian
Limitless. Wasn't Abby Cornish in Limitless?
She wasn't.
oh, I love her. Yeah, she.
I don't mind her. I like her better than a lot of those other weirdos that Vex
Yeah,
was talking
I could have
about.
seen her do it. Yep.
Right.
Now that I see
And
her.
the last consideration was Natalie Portman.
No, I've seen enough of her.
That doesn't fit. Nah, not at all.
Okay.
I feel like I don't need to see Natalie Portman at all, like in movies anymore.
Yes.
Great.
Yep.
I don't know why. I know that's a mean things to say, but she
No,
just comes
say it.
off as annoying, and I've had enough of her.
Yes,
Yeah, this is the
I
perfect show.
stand with Price of Reason.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sick of that bitch.
It's what's
that it?
weird is that sometimes I just have these instincts. It doesn't. There's no logic behind it.
No, I
It's just
get it.
like what my instinct says.
You see
No,
Natalie
Vegan that
Portman.
talks about climate change. I mean,
You see
what-
Natalie Portman. You run sideways.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not running away. I'm running at a 90-degree angle.
She seems too snooty. You know what I mean? There's something
Yeah,
snooty
she
about Natalie Portman that I feel like she went on like an ego trip with herself, and
Yeah.
I've always thought that people thought that she was more than she was to begin with. She was just all right, and she suddenly bought into the hype. She got high on her own supply, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think
Smoking that
she got
ribbon
way
out weed.
so the credit that she gets from Leon the Professional, given her age, is absolutely well worth it. The problem is, I don't think she actually got better. I think she may have actually regressed.
Right,
as an
that was her
adult.
best role.
Yeah,
That was like her
yeah.
best work is
Yeah.
Leon the Professional.
Yeah.
I agree.
Eat my
Oh.
hammer, Xenomorph.
Oh yeah, she's a Harvard grad, so she definitely thinks she's better than everybody else. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, was that all the cast?
That's that's all that. Well, she's Jewish as well. So
Oh God.
yeah,
yeah.
that's all the trivia I have.
That doesn't bother me just to put
Yeah,
that
more
out
than
there.
I mean,
It
but,
should.
Speak for
should.
yourself. you
I mean,
probably
to give her a certain amount of grace. I mean, can you imagine how insufferable you would be if, from the age of 13, everybody is telling you how magnificent you are, how talented you are, and wonderful, and that you're getting all of these accolades? I mean, you would never really mature into adulthood and become, somewhat humble and reasonable.
No, it happens to a lot of these Hollywood kids, but
Yeah.
I don't know. She just comes off as like especially snooty. But yeah, most of these kids in Hollywood end up like her.
Yeah.
I think Christopher Walken would have been a better show. I want to
Oh,
see him
dude.
get the C-section.
Yeah.
See how he deals with it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, get it out of me.
Wow, look
Wow.
at this
I
thing.
mean, that's the one place to hide the squid.
Yeah.
The only place
were
like
so- We were
In my
so
ass.
wong.
I love these claw machines.
Oh my God. Oh God. Anyway,
No tokens. Wow.
what we need is more claw machines. All right.
Yeah, Charlie, do you have a fever?
Do you have a
Something in his
Oh,
eye.
They
God,
get him.
that's so
They get him in the medical center and just pull out a cowbell. There, I fixed it.
I can't reproduce. Oh. All right, let's give our final thoughts and get the fuck out of here. Price of Reason. You want to give a score to this and your final thoughts on this shitty movie?
You know, I mean, the easy route would be to say oh, I'll give it a 0 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. But the thing is that between the cast and the production, it's not like that I look at it and it's a complete poor quality movie. It's just that the writing is so bad that it's hard to overcome a lot of issues that I have with it. I'd probably give it, if 6 out of 10 is a passing grade, I'd give it maybe a I don't know, a 4.7 out of 10.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Mr. Goodwin, I know you particularly love this movie. You messaged me all day about how you couldn't wait to talk about it. Yes, so, yeah, your thoughts, buddy.
I mean, I agree with Price of Reason that the production value is very good, and you have these great actors, and it's actually the reason that I would rate it lower, because they piss all of it away with such an absolutely abysmal script. I mean, this script is an abomination in the eyes of man and God. And there's no characterization. The character arcs are essentially flat planes. David is probably the most developed of anybody, and basically his character arc is he gets his head yanked off. What else happens that's worth it other than surprise, completely unearned things like Idris Elba suddenly jumping to conclusions and deciding to sacrifice himself and his crew because the crazy lady has said some things, even though she's been wrong every time. I had a very bad memory of this movie, and I had underestimated how absolutely horrible it was. My wife watched it with me. She had never seen it.
Sorry.
Bless her soul. Now we both have to go to therapy.
Yeah, I'm welcome, by the way.
I mean, yeah, if you're saying a 6 is a passing, it's all right. It's worth a watch, and you might watch it again, but it's no great shakes or whatever. This thing's like a 3.5. And again, the visuals are good. Maybe if you run it on mute, so that you don't have to hear the terrible lines and what's going on script wise. It's visually, again, the production is great. The fact that you waste all of the efforts, of hiring good actors, of creating such good, building all of these great practical sets and all this stuff on complete dog shit. That's a worse sin for me than if you were just making an overall bad movie.
I agree. I completely agree. I'm sorry about the therapy. Send me the bills. No, don't.
Yeah, now that you're monetized, I'll
I'm not paying. Yeah, this is YouTube. We don't make real money on here. Gord King, what about you, buddy? Your final thoughts?
Yeah, this is a movie with very few merits beyond the technical prowess. It's it's a very nice looking movie. Very nice looking. Holds up well 12 years later for the most part. And Michael Fassbender, good performance by him. That is about all I take away positive from this movie. This is a 3. It's a terrible movie with fairly minimal merit to it. It is a bad movie all around. Just terrible writing, terrible dialogue. The acting, mostly is destroyed by the script. It's garbage. It's complete garbage. It's not Borderlands garbage, but it's garbage.
If you were unaware of all other Alien movies, what would you possibly get out of it? And if you were aware of Alien movies, is it the worst? I think Covenant's the worst I've ever fucking. It's worse than
he's asking. So if you knew nothing about the Alien movies,
okay.
Is there anything you could get out of this?
Matter.
And then knowing about it, does it make this movie worse with the knowledge of other Alien movies?
Yeah. Good question.
For me, no. It's because honestly, I kind of do feel like this. I can easily disconnect this movie from the rest of the Alien movies. When I watch Alien and Aliens, I don't think about this movie one iota.
No, me
so
neither.
I don't think the existence or hypothetical non-existence of Alien and Aliens does anything to this. If anything, if this was the first attempt at making an Alien movie, it would kill the franchise in the crib.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Bexington, your thoughts?
I give this film 2.5. I would bone David 8 out of 10. I echo the sentiment of everyone else. Like the production value is very good, but I think that I agree with Goodwin in that the production shits all over the pretty A-lister cast it has because it has one of the stupidest. Like again, this is the movie that convinced me that critics are fucking stupid. Like every critic loved this movie when it came out.
Yep, I
And
remember
for the
that.
life of me, I could not figure it out when I finally saw the movie. And I really do think is a lot of the fans of this movie are disillusioned by how beautiful the cinematography is, the sound design is, the special effects, the visual effects. I think that all takes the cake and no one actually thinks about what the characters in the script are doing. David 8, Michael Fassbender is the only redeeming part of the characters and narrative. I think there's something that Ridley Scott had a good idea for there, but it was probably just hacked to death by Damon Lindelof.
Studio interference. That's what he cries about on his documentary.
I think the other thing, if you look at like the critics, if this had been directed by Mortimer Snerd, the numbers would be rather lower than it's Ridley Scott. You have to kiss Ridley Scott.
Yeah, so they're just blowing it up his ass then. Yeah. So yeah,
they need to give some credit to Mortimer. He's a lot better than they realized.
That's true. Him and Charlie McCarthy working together.
In 2012, Ridley Scott still had some shred of integrity left.
Small. It was drifting.
Right. Well, he still had The Martian on the way, and The Martian's a legit good movie. But
right, at least the public perception of him at that point wasn't that he's very old and making crappy movies, but that he still has maybe a good movie in him somewhere.
This is the movie where you start to go, I don't know. I think Ridley is lost.
I think Covenant seals that fate if it already wasn't sealed. Yeah. I know. Just this movie had everything going for it, and they even managed to get H.R. Geiger in here before he died, and somehow we ended with this fucking piece of shit that doesn't make any sense at all.
Again, it's all in the script. It is all on.
Yeah.
It's on Lindelof and Scott.
It's terrible. No, White Bear. You've been so talkative. I'm just kidding. But
wow.
Give us your beautiful final thoughts on this.
Okay. Well, I'll put it this way. I wanted to take the clips of David's head talking and the camera kind of zooming in on there and then put it to the music video with Limp Bizkit singing Behind Blue Eyes. But there's not enough people making clips of this movie because it sucks so fucking bad. I couldn't, and even if I wanted to take the movie and rip it with OBS, there's protection on it for, like Google Chrome and Firefox. So I was like, what the fuck is Miami even doing with my damn time here? That's how much it sucks. So the only meme I could make of it was just to put it to fucking Axel F and make it into that. And that's fun, but basically in the end I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10 space abortions.
You should have made him play in Simon with that thing where he's trying to.
Yeah, I have to agree with everybody. On paper, it had everything you would want, right? It's an Alien prequel. It's got the director from Alien. Like you said, the cast on paper should have worked out.
You've got Weta working on the effects.
Yeah, it looked good. Like I said, production of it was great. This was painful. I mean, I stopped the movie multiple times during watching. I kept wondering how much longer do we have, and I hated this movie so much. I'm gonna give it 2 out of 10. I'm a fucking I hate geologists. It's bad. It's literally one of the worst scripts I've seen. I'm not an expert at this shit, but doing the show, I've been just paying much more attention to the movies we do. It's like, this is bad. There's no redeeming qualities of this movie. Like you said, maybe Fassbender's character a little bit, but nothing that I would ever rewatch this. If somebody asked me, should I watch this movie? Just jump off the fucking roof of your house.
You know what? This movie, okay, ideally, when sex robots do become a real thing, they will hire Michael Fassbender and get him to be David 8 again. I guarantee you
that probably would happen.
Chicks will line up around the world, quite literally, if they had an evil robot selling sex robots.
I could see
you
that.
Say that, but then you would see the Cavill model, and you'd be like, "I'm sorry, Michael, you got to
listen." I think you underestimate how much chicks love crazy evil dudes. That's all.
Oh, I
Would
know.
Vex become
You
a
would
bad
still be
director?
moving him aside
underestimate
to get to the
how
Campbell
long-
model. Are you sold out of those yet?
I'm just saying, I think you're underestimating how much space they're willing to clear in their closet for multiple models.
Yeah, well, there's
Yeah,
that too.
yeah. That's gonna be
I mean,
expensive.
Gord really is right though. The script of Velocipaster is better
better.
than this by a lot. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a little. It is a lot better.
It seriously is a better written movie, and it's
Yes.
not meant to. It's just it's fucking. This is so bad. I hated this. I hated this so much, and I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, I almost went to the emergency room for my cringe muscle. That it is strained up so bad. I'm not sure if
it's
it'll ever.
it's
unwind.
really bad. Whatever. What's up, Rage Cage? Thanks for joining. But
Yo.
I guess we could do our shout outs and get everybody off to bed. So Price, what do you got coming up, buddy? Or what have you been doing?
Tomorrow is Tuesday. So on my live channel, there's Price of Reason Live. Sorry, I meant there's the Night Owl on my live channel, Price of Reason Live. Sorry about that. I'm already
He
tired.
can't even shout out his own channel.
I can't even shout out my own channel.
I thought
And
at
if
first
you're-
he was just shouting out the day Tuesday.
Price of Reason. You're a good guy, Price of Reason. You're
I'm a good guy, and it's also on Rumble. Some people are on Rumble, so that it's there too. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yep, definitely. Check it out. His information's in the description. Goodwin, what 85 streams are you going to be guesting on this week?
See, tomorrow I'm on Film Comics Explained, and then Thursday I'll be on Gooch's for Demon Slayer. Friday we'll do B-sides.
Nice.
And then Sunday we'll do Wayfarer's show, and then who knows?
Nice.
White
Very
Bear
nice.
has a show on Sunday. What?
Wayfarer.
I was like,
why do you
dude,
like?
what did
wait,
what did I do?
How
What
did
did I
we
do?
not know this?
I don't
Do you-
remember scheduling Goodwin for nothing yet.
You know everything about White Bear. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
It was in the rewrites that Lindelof sent you. White Bear, didn't you notice?
The script was up my ass for 8 months.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, Gore King. Any new meme videos or anything coming out anytime soon?
Wait, I got tomorrow. I'm gonna be hanging out with Pops about 11 a.m. Eastern. I don't know if that's live or if it's recorded, but we're gonna be talking Fury.
Nice.
The war movie.
Awesome.
I'm currently working on my next poorly explained video. I'm going to be doing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which is already pretty fun to do so far. If you haven't checked out the In a Violent Nature one, please do so. And I'll probably get a meme video out there probably by next week. So,
Nice. Very nice.
Oh yeah, and I think Vex, I'm going to be on Yeti's podcast Thursday. Like that's that's this week.
I have to check my calendar, but if you say you are, then you are.
You are
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Nice. That's always a fun time. Vex. Anything coming up?
I'm still recovering from being sick, but I will also be on Film Comics Explained tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're
Nice.
going to be discussing Trap and Borderlands.
Oh, that might be worse than what we
Ouch.
just watched.
I got to rewatch Borderlands now because yeah.
Sorry about that.
It is, but
That'll
again,
be
at
good.
least it's under 90 minutes, right?
That's true. It's short. That's true.
I don't think it is. I don't
It
think
is.
it's that
It is.
short.
It's under 90 minutes.
Feels
yeah.
like it's not.
It didn't feel like it.
I know it's like 87 minutes, but it feels longer.
IMDb has it at 1 hour 42.
No,
Ooh.
nah, man, nah.
I think, that's probably.
She's like, I'm gonna watch it on 1.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping I'll be better enough to go to the theater this Thursday because
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
you
like
gotta
to
go see
make
Alien.
Huh?
You have to go see Alien, right?
Yeah, so I can go see Romulus because I would like to make a video on that.
Good.
But yeah, other than that, good to be back. Sorry I missed last week.
Oh no. Well, you were dying from something Canadian. It's okay. We're used to it by now with you.
All those fucking immigrants shitting in the streets.
God, that had me down.
Wait, I thought they were shitting on the beaches.
Oh no, they're
That's-
shitting on the streets too. So
Oh,
when
okay.
they can
It's
afford
everywhere.
to pack all of their dirty third eye asses into a Toyota
Oh.
Camry to go to a beach up north, they're just
Oh.
shitting publicly at gas stations and on sidewalks and in parks. And you want to know the great thing about Toronto is that it has a severely outdated stormwater and sewage system. So we've been getting a lot of rain. So you want to know what happens instead of it just flowing out?
Turds float. Turds float.
Exactly. Both streams end up crossing and Toronto floods.
Never
and where do you
crossed
think
the stream, but-
all that shit goes? There you go.
I'm very sorry. Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're feling somewhat better. And
Make sure you keep your suit on.
Yeah, don't take your fucking helmet off.
Like I didn't even go socialize in Toronto. I literally just went to go pick up something and I got sick.
You got that, yeah. Jesus, that's bad. Well, that sucks, but I'm glad you're feeling somewhat better.
Bless your various gods.
Bless your heart. White Bear.
Yeah.
What about you? You had a video. You had a little meme thing or no thing come out this before the show.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, go check out what Gord did the other week. We both put out some meme videos, and yeah, I had some fun today putting together that Red Dead Trump campaign.
That was good. That was really good.
I'm gonna totally take advantage of that Red Dead shit. So
that was really funny.
See, I'll probably be streaming again tomorrow on Twitter.
There you go.
And other than that, just check me out, White Bear Whitey on the Twitter, and also White Bear 2 on YouTube. And apparently Sunday I'll be hosting a show with Jay.
Yeah, you just better be there, buddy.
We got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as the Cannoli Sasquatch, next Monday we have a great panel actually to talk about The Crow. Since the new movie's coming out soon, we're going to do the original, the 1994 movie. We have a great panel. We have True Pop Culture, Josh McDonald. Yes, we have True Pop Culture, Josh Pops, and Movie Cynic actually confirmed for that too. So that'll be a good panel and show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that, especially after reading the graphic novel recently. And movie's got some problems, but whatever. I haven't. It's a rewatch.
The movie fucking
sucks.
It's
I'm gonna
okay to say it.
rewatch it this weekend. We'll see. But and then also Wednesday I'll be on Gooch's show, Diabolical Studios, with a big panel to talk about Batman Under the Red Hood, the movie. So looking forward to that, of course. So look out for all that information on the socials. Thank you to the panel. You guys are freaking awesome. Sorry, Dan from Scene Invaders couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he had something come up, but we'll have him on again soon, I think. And then, yeah, thank you for the super chats. Thank you to the chat. And we made it. So thank you, everybody else. We're going to go good night now, and we'll see you next week. We love you and goodbye.
Bye.